Welcome to Spelunkers, a place for exploring video games and nerd culture. This is the game exploration show where we break games into digestible chunks. I can speak. You know, we should just get rid of this whole intro because I fucking shit on that every time. Every time.
You know, if we think about it,
I wrote this.
Sure you're the one
I
that
wrote this.
I purposely say it not correct.
Play through them together with the community and discuss them in exhaustive detail. Hello, I'm Chris. I am joined by Ryan.
What up, everybody?
Tyler.
Hi.
And Tom.
Hi, everybody.
That's right. It's all four of us here. First time for an exploration in quite a while. No guests, because fuck all of you. No, just kidding.
We don't need you.
Nobody cares about Nioh 2.
It's true. You know, we should invite a guest on for episodes 2 and 3 just to try and get one of the people that are dropping off to continue playing, because everybody, it seems like, in our community is about to drop off, which is fine. We'll talk about everybody's takes here in a little bit. Let's start off. Ryan, how are you feeling about this game?
All right. So it may sound like I'm about to take a nice warm dump on Nioh 2. Let me start by saying, overall, I have had a positive experience. I've enjoyed my time so far, but I think there are way too many menus. I think their menus are underexplained. I don't have a problem with the loot in general. I like looting games, but so much of the loot has no meaning behind it. I think the control scheme is a little obtuse. I'm grown into it now. I'm more comfortable, but man, I really kind of just wanted to throw my controller playing those first couple of missions. Like I said, still positive experience, but I have my problems with the game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tyler, how are you feeling?
I like this game. I think it's fun. It's fun to play. I agree with Ryan that there is way too many menus, and a lot of it just seems irrelevant and unnecessary, but it is there if you want to dive into it, which I think is cool. And the loot system is lackluster in my opinion, but overall, like, the gameplay and fighting mechanics and like the world building and stuff, as far as like enemy design, world design, I think is fucking awesome. So it's hard to really complain about that. And the co-op is perfect. It fucking works beautifully, and you don't have to do a bunch of bullshit to get it to work. I love it.
Unless you want to join somebody in a game.
Unless you want to join
right back to
mid-game.
Street Souls.
Okay, correct. Okay.
Then it's back to this is garbage.
But
Yep.
if you just want to make a lobby like a normal person, you can do that.
It's true.
It's crazy. It's like they were like, hey, you know what's fun to do? Join your friends in an easy way. Play a game. They did it. Those motherfuckers did it.
Tom, how about you? How you feeling?
I like the game. I haven't had a lot of time to really do anything beyond, I don't know what we have been doing, but what
We weren't supposed to,
am I
right? That's the
missing
whole
something on why there's so many menus? What menus do you not need?
Well, there's the customization menu. There for like all your different weapons and stuff like that as you unlock. Then there is like the title menu where you have the different titles that you can equip, and that flips between two different ones. And I totally forgot that there was a second one that you could go to until I was.
There is a point to them. It's not like it's just.
Yeah, but
Well, I don't want
but
these
they're-
buffs. Fuck these titles.
But what Ryan said is they're not explained well. And unless
There,
you
it
like,
says this will give you this. This will give you this.
Fuck
this will
off.
give you this.
They're not.
You can
Finding
push
them.
it over,
They're not,
and then boom, then it goes to a different one. Then you pick which one of those you want.
they're not introduced to the player
it's
in
not good.
a forward enough
in-
fashion.
Oh my
I'm
god, there's a
playing-
soul game that doesn't explain shit to you.
Here's the
Holy
difference,
fuck,
though. Like,
mind
Yeah, it's way
blown.
when this happens in Dark Souls or Bloodborne, it's with more generalized mechanical stuff. Like, they leave a lot of the world lore up to you to explore. This is like menu interaction and vital character progression stuff that just goes completely untalked about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, Tom, because I also, you know, we got some comments that we'll get to later about like the game's bad at explaining things to you, and I think that's true. I think as people who have played a lot of From Software games, we forget your first From Software game is a fucking disaster because it doesn't explain anything to you. You don't know what all those stats and stuff do. Once you've played a From Software game, you more or less get what everything does in every other game, and because this game treats stats a little differently, it does menus a lot differently, obviously. And it has like actual skill trees and stuff like that. Because all this stuff is new and different and they don't explain it, just like From Software Games don't explain things, it is like it is a little baffling, you know. But like all Souls likes are baffling, in my opinion.
It's not. Go ahead.
It's not so much that they don't explain how it all works. I just don't remember them ever saying, hey, this is a thing, like mentioning that there is this titles menu, mentioning like just even an arrow.
I know something told me about it
Could've
because
skipped
that's
by
how I
it, but-
ended up at the title.
Yeah,
That's how I made it
I
to the
do-
titles.
yeah, I do know something tells you about titles. I don't think they ever mention skill trees, but you should come across those on your own. Yeah.
When you have to do the dojos, you have to go into them.
Oh,
They tell
okay.
you got to open this, go to here, because
You don't
that's
necessarily
like,
have to
that's
do the
your
dojos either, though.
I
level.
haven't gone to the dojo once, so
But the only way that you can progress those skill trees is to go to the dojo. But I think what Ryan is getting at as well is it's not just the fact that it's like, hey, go here to do this. It's just so much of that, of like, here's a menu. Okay, here's another menu. Here's another menu. Here's another menu. Here's another menu. And it just kind of so much just kind of fucking thrown out there that it's forgettable, you know. And it's like you forget that those things are even there.
Yeah, I mean,
Vague in that aspect.
I think the point that you're getting at that I agree with is that there are a lot of mechanics in this game, and none of them feel like world changing. Like, what, you know, we're talking about the skill trees. The skill trees, like nothing you get in there feels all that important. Maybe some
Correct.
stuff at the end, unless you're doing magic or ninjutsu. The magic skill tree is essential. If you're doing magic, obviously, it's where you learn all your spells. But like nothing I've gotten on my Switchglaive skill tree, I'm like, yes, this is amazing. It's like some little skills that make combat have a little more variety. But I don't know. Maybe that's different on other weapon skill trees. Have you guys gotten any? I know.
That's how I get the parry moves. That's how and it depends on how you play. Like I typically go for high stance all the time, so I'm unlocking the stuff on high stance. Same with the weapons that everyone thinks is like unnecessary. Well, I'm going for weapons that do something for a high stance or something in that area. Like we're only maybe a third of the way into the game, so I understand like, okay, nothing's doing anything crazy yet. Like, but we don't know if that's where it's going to go. Like right now, all we have is you can get that one that I don't remember what it's called.
I don't
Not poison,
I don't
but whatever.
necessarily need anything crazy, but I feel like in other looters, I would have said like, "Oh, this gun that I found off this boss at level 5, like really, blah blah blah," and it just I don't know, it doesn't hit the same. I found the sword I really like, but like I'm using 2 katanas, like I have not branched out weapon wise at all.
Oh, I mean, I've just stuck with the Odachi. I barely use
also
the
sticking with
fist.
the same
but-
weapon.
So now I've actually gone to having 2 Odachis, and so the one that is what the hell is that called?
Corruption.
Corruption, yes. So I have one that has the corruption on and a different one, and one is better for high stance and another is for mid stance because I think the parry is only on the mid stance. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't find any of these systems or anything cumbersome. I feel I'm just learning the game, and that's just how it is. I've been able to do it, which I am surprised. So it can't be awful.
Yeah. I think I'm mostly with you. I do think I agree with Ryan that the loot is not. It doesn't feel meaningful yet. Like the little upgrades you get from them and stuff don't feel meaningful. Even if like I am always in mid stance with the Switchglaive, or at least 90% of the time. So I'm looking for stuff that has mid stance advantages and stuff that has own Nioh magic advantages and stuff. But that all just feels like small numbers going up. It doesn't feel like when I'm hunting for loot in a Diablo, I'm looking for stuff that's like makes your lightning blast move hit a wider cone or something. I'm not getting anything like that yet. But we're only a third through the game, like you said. Maybe there is stuff like that later. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, most of the crazy shit you get in Diablo is not till almost you beat the fucking game. Like the real crazy shit. Borderlands likes to go a little crazy, so maybe it's a little like around half that you start getting weapons that are just fucking bonkers.
I think it's one of those things too where it just like it doesn't feel like it really impacts your gameplay all that much. Just like
I don't feel it impedes it either.
no, I agree. But for some people, when they see that kind of stuff, they want to engage with it and they want to see it have an actual like effect on the game itself. And I don't feel like those really do have any kind of impact on the game or what you're doing. I mean, they're very incremental at best. and it's just for me, I don't necessarily have to engage with them to enjoy the game. So it's like I don't really care, but they are there, and for some people that is bothersome because they want to explore every aspect of that game and really like flesh it out and cool their character the best that they can. And because of the way that it is laid out, it becomes more cumbersome. I think that's the problem. That makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that. Specifically, the loot can be cumbersome, but I mean, I only
Exactly.
do it every like 7 or 8 missions that I do because you can carry up to 600 loot, and then I just go through it and it takes maybe like 10 minutes or something. It is a little bit of busy work, but it doesn't
And
bother
my
me.
big issue with that is with the loot and how it's presented is like I like to craft and shit like that and make weapons and, you know, make better weapons, but it's irrelevant. Like the crafting system in this game is wasteful. You don't need to do it, and you can never make weapons that are any worthwhile because the second you make a weapon that is like the same level as you're going to go into that next level or mission and you're going to find a weapon that's going to drop. It's going to be even better. It's going to have more stats on it. It's going to have like some kind of element attached to it as well, and it's like going to be more tailored to your fucking play style for no fucking reason. And it's just
Yeah.
there are things in here that they're there but they feel useless.
Yeah, I would argue that that is the case in most looters, where you like I feel like the crafting is probably end game stuff. You know, like you haven't reached your maximum builds, and you're like, I want a specific weapon that has my mid stance stuff, it has my Omnium magic, it has this and that, and you want to get all that on one weapon. Then you need to go to the crafting lady and actually spend some money there, because right now we're just building money. I've got like 600,000 or something. There's nothing to really do with it. But yeah, let's talk about what weapons everybody's using. What kind of builds we got going, Ryan?
Dual katanas. One's corrupt, one's not. Both built for mid stance because that's I don't even engage with the stances. I'm barely into the yokai stuff. Heavy dodging, like mostly I'm a heart build, right? So I got a lot of the key, so I got a lot of stamina to roll around with. And it feels good. The game feels really good to play. The moment-to-moment gameplay, very good. I love running around with the sword.
Yeah, the combat is, but for a Souls-like, it is like maybe the fastest. It's definitely faster than Bloodborne. Probably on par with Sekiro, maybe even faster than Sekiro. It's very, very fast. It feels more Ninja Gaiden than Souls-like in combat. Tyler,
well,
what
that
do you
would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, it's Team Ninja. It does make sense.
Who would have thought?
I'm using dual hatchets basically the whole time. I got dual katanas as well, but I barely use them. But it's weird because the way that this game presents itself is I find, unlike Ryan, I find myself switching stances constantly because there's certain enemies that I feel like I can take advantage of, like a low stance and really come in quick and get the fuck out of the way. Whereas like high stance, there are some enemies that I can do a quick combo and just fuck them up and chop them into bits. So
especially once you unlock the combos that like you do
switch between,
you hit square at the end of this combo and it takes you into high stance or low stance.
Yeah, I have just started doing some of that near the end. It feels like the Switchglaive in particular like really wants you to do that because all three forms even look different and act very, very different. So I'm starting to get into that stuff. I think, you know, if you're a big fan of this game, you've probably already stopped watching this. I'm sorry, goodbye. But I think you will maybe enjoy later episodes because I think I'm starting to dig into the mechanics that are more interesting in this game. To be clear, I guess I didn't get my overall impression. I like this game a lot. I'm enjoying it a lot. But I also played the first one, loved it, and I played the demos of the new Final Fantasy Stranger of whatever stupid title.
Stranger of Paradise?
Yeah, Stranger of Paradise.
Yep.
And so I love the gameplay in this game.
Dating show.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's a terrible name for a Final Fantasy game.
Final Fantasy the Love Boat.
Yep.
But Tyler, I know you love throwing your hatchets, but you know we were talking about the skill trees. You know, you feel they don't really do a lot, but you got that jump move from the skill tree, and then it's all you wanted to do forever.
It's true. Yeah, I did unlock like a weird flipping move where it's like at the end of my combo, I press up and triangle, I think, and I do a flip over the enemy so I can get back attack damage because my hatchets, when I'm in low stance, do more damage to somebody's back. That's very hard to get into because it's very finicky. It doesn't work all that great sometimes. Another thing I've run into is I'm not building up any more scrolls for my hatchets for some reason. I haven't been able to unlock any new abilities for a few missions, and I am not sure why. Like since mission 4, I think I have not unlocked any more scrolls to advance any of my abilities for the dual hatchet. So it's very fucking frustrating. So I don't know.
Do you remember what level you were?
56, 50.
I noticed on my Odachi, like I still go up levels, but it takes a while. Like it does take a long time before I unlock something. I think it's just, I mean, we're a third of the game through and we're level 60.
Yeah. I think it just
seems pretty high.
It's a recommended level though. Like,
yeah,
well, right. But I'm saying the way it scales now, it's probably just, you know, you need to be earning more experience, which is also why I switched to using 2 Odachi, which is what I use for a weapon. But yeah, I mean, in the skill tree, like there's a bunch of cool moves that I can do.
All right, a bunch of fucking cool moves that you can unlock. I mean,
yeah. So I have one that I can stick my sword into the ground and it like magnifies my defense. And so if I block, I just hold it into the ground like that. And it does way better at blocking.
That's cool.
I don't typically block a lot though.
Yeah, I block. I mean, I'd say I block a fair amount. Yeah, I've got several skills on the Switchglaive. I'm using a Switchglaive with the Onmyo magic. The Switchglaive has a lot of skills that are parries, like L1 plus something, either square, triangle, or X or whatever. Some of them that like parry and then go behind the enemy, which is really cool. But they're way more finicky compared to the burst counter. You know, the burst counter is very obvious when an enemy's doing a move that you want to burst counter, and it's pretty reliable as long as you're timing it right. Whereas the parry, maybe it's just because I try to use it in co-op, and then like I don't know, the hitboxes are kind of weird in co-op, as they always are in games in co-op.
Yeah, I've only had success doing my parry move when I'm playing single player, because even if you're not, somebody else may end up hitting them, and then their attack is changing, so they're not hitting you then, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mine's cool because I can, like, when I parry in mid stance, he'll parry it and then he'll grab their arms and throw them on the ground. I only usually have good luck on the human players or types, like not so much on the yokai.
Yeah.
Parrying doesn't work very well.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, there's also a lot of moves, the ones that I'm starting to experiment with, that are like at the end of a combo, push L1 plus X to switch into your low stance, and you can continue the combo. And then at the end of that, I can push L1 triangle, continue with my combo in high stance. Some cool combo chaining stuff that you can do here. And magic is very, very strong, as you would imagine, in a Souls-like game. It's not as strong in co-op for sure. Like, I can go through my entire spell book on one yokai and not, or all of my, whatever, what do they call them? Scrolls, talismans, whatever, and not kill an enemy. But like in single player especially, I decimate enemies with magic, which is very fun. Okay, let's start at the beginning here. I love the, like, before you even push any buttons, I love the attract screen, I guess you would call it, from arcade days anyways. Just a super cool cutscene of your guy killing a bunch of, or your girl or whatever, your character. It's not actually your character. Killing a bunch of yokai and then dying and coming back. I get, it seems like that's maybe like a prelude to the actual story. They're coming back as a yokai. Is that the impression you guys got? Because you are a yokai in this game. Your character, half yokai or something.
Half, yeah.
Yeah.
You're half yokai.
I have no fucking clue what's going on in this game. I have no idea. I don't care.
That's weird, because this actually tells you what's going on in the story.
The gameplay is just super good. That's the only reason I like. I'm invested in the gameplay, the moment-to-moment action. That is fucking top notch. I love it. Story, There's some cool characters.
I have a decent idea of what's going on, but I also don't particularly care about what's going on. I mean, no Souls-like have I ever played and been like, wow, the story, the lore is great if you dig into it. If you watch videos of people who dug into it, basically, is how most people figure that stuff out. But the actual stuff that is happening in any Souls-like game,
we're not an alien,
not particularly interesting.
Yeah, it's not all gray.
We could be an alien. Oh my god.
This guy, that's a good game.
Rob was the only guy still listening, and he just
what's
left.
going on. The Surge's story is pretty easy to follow.
But we're not talking about the Surge.
Talking about Souls-like.
Yeah, okay.
True. That story is also easy to follow. I also didn't really care about what was happening on that story either, though. To be fair,
But you could follow it.
It's true. It's true.
There is a story there.
Speaking of the story, we've got a comment from Mike Tarnished in the Discord. Thank you, Mike. He says, having a silent protagonist makes it hard for me to care about them. I get they're supposed to be me, but since the plot is so meh, at least at this point in the game, I find it hard to get invested in them. Yeah, it is weird your protagonist is canonically silent, it seems like, because people ask her for him. Yeah, you guys, what are you guys playing
It's
as? Male?
They.
They? Yes,
Male.
I should say they. I'm playing as a
Say
woman.
they. I'm a dude, but
We're yokai. We can be it.
Yeah, sure. They ask your name. People ask your name all the time, and you just show them your like dagger that has
yeah,
your name
what the
written
fuck
on it
is
or whatever.
that?
I guess
Maybe
it's got
you
your name
can't
written
talk.
on it.
Maybe you're mute. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I think
Yeah,
canonically your
it-
character is silent.
And I think that's what's kind of bothersome between this one and the first one is because the first one you had William, and William was like an actual protagonist who had a voice and could interact with the characters. And this, you're just like,
Because they made you able to make your own character.
Yeah.
I know, but I'd rather just have somebody talk.
Speaking of character creation, though, loved that. I got to make a monstrosity, as is tradition in all Souls-like from soft games. And
You know what's the
it's
worst
fantastic.
is when you're playing co-op with Ryan and you get to a hot spring and you take a fucking bath with him and his fucking gross character unclothes itself and you're just sitting there next to it. It's just awful.
I
hate it.
think you mean fantastic.
No, it's awful.
Yeah, and then we jump into the very beginning of the game here. There's another like intro cutscene which introduces us to also another art style they use that I like a lot. The kind of, what do you call this? The kind of ink brush, paintbrush, kind of
Yeah, it's like
Okami aesthetic
water
almost.
paint
Not to
or,
bring up your nightmares, Tyler.
Yeah, why you gotta? I fucking hate that game.
We got to bring
Anyway.
up great games, Chris.
Yeah,
It's
the
okay.
greatest of games. Top.
I really like
10
when you're
games
playing and you
of all
can take your finger and just touch the screen and go like this. And, like your clothes just start flowing in the wind.
Right.
I wish you could do that.
Only a
And-
tiny arena popped up that we could do terrible combos that stupid and sucked, and we had a tiny little asshole with us the whole time. Anyways.
Well, I mean, if you're playing co-op, you're playing with you. So, I mean, we got a little tiny asshole run.
Oh, look
Oh,
at this guy! So
got
jokes
him.
on him. Jokes on jokes over here.
And then you go through the character creator, which I actually like. I like that you create a character here. Like, I'm usually with you that I like a character that is not created because it lets you tell a better story. But again, Souls-likes all have not great stories, in my opinion. So I don't mind that they make a character because I don't care.
Like they didn't force your character into like every goddamn cutscene. Like, create your character, but your character is going to be like not forced into situations where he or she should absolutely be talking, and it's just not. Like, I think that's where the other Souls games, especially FromSoft games, do it well. Where like your character gets into a cutscene, and it's not like they need to be speaking in those moments.
because it's like 10 seconds long and it's like
exactly,
"This is the
and
boss."
it's just like a
Fight the
quick
boss.
thing, and then but this is like all these characters are interacting, and your character is just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
But
you.
I mean, you're not paying attention, so it doesn't matter anyway.
All right, you win this round.
Yeah, the one of the nice things Rob had to say about the game, legit one of the best character creators I've ever seen. I think that's true. I think it's great how much they let you customize, obviously, but then also like I like your parents are like commenting on the things you're changing throughout, which is really fun. Just a nice little touch. And then here's where we get to, and this I don't think I like. You get to like try every weapon in this little arena. I like that they let you try the weapons. Obviously, that's great. But you're choosing a weapon that is affecting your stats. You're choosing a spirit that's affecting your stats, and you choose one other thing. Maybe it's just the two weapons and the spirit. I don't know. And you get to
Yeah.
experiment with them.
It's two weapons and the spirit.
You get to experiment with them here, but like you have no idea what any of those stats mean or how the weapons are going to feel in like legit encounters. Like I hate when a game makes you make decisions before you know how they're going to impact you. It's like how almost every game makes you choose a difficulty at the beginning, and if they don't let you change that difficulty, that's some terrible game design because you have no idea what that difficulty is going to be like for you until you're a good chunk of the way into the game.
Ryan, did the weapon arena remind you of Kingdom Hearts?
You know what? It didn't in the moment, but I see what you're going for.
Trash? Is that what we're going at?
No, but
Wow.
No.
go on.
So yeah, let's talk about some of the weird kind of mechanics, because like here we'll pull this comment early from Rob. This is from a conversation that we had during the Draftpunk stream when we were playing with Rob for a little bit. He says, this is a long one. Honestly, I'm not terribly compelled to keep playing. I don't think it's a bad game, but in a conversation with Chris and Ryan on Sunday, I think Ryan summed up my thoughts in the 2 words, too busy. I think there's too much going on regarding systems and mechanics that dilutes what is otherwise a solid game with excellent combat. I also don't really enjoy exploring the world, nor feel like the levels really provide any satisfying incentive for taking the time to check corners beyond the occasional Kodama or more vendor trash. Well, we'll save that question for later, though. So yeah, let's talk about some of the specific mechanics. There are a lot of mechanics going on in this game. I like how much there is, but like specifically here, just in the tutorial, they introduce Kai Pulse, Burst Counter, and Yokai Shift. Which Kai Pulse essential. Have you guys been using Kai Pulse, especially if you're playing solo? Essential.
I call it key pulse,
Oh, yeah.
but yes.
Okay,
It's
fair.
key.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm used to it because I played the first game. I never finished the first game, but I got very close to the end, and so I'm very familiar with that mechanic, and I actually like that mechanic a lot. I think it's very cool, especially how you can use it in different ways, because there's like a way to use like the main form where you just like hit R1, I believe, when you're in the middle of it, but then you can also do it while you're dodging, and that will also create a key pulse as well, so you can like get rid of yokai auras that are laid down on the ground or whatever. I think that's really fucking cool. It's also a way to manage your stamina or ki, whatever. So,
Yeah, I
cool.
didn't play
like
the
it.
first one, but it didn't take long to catch on to the key pulse.
Yeah.
But I like it. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I think it adds a little something, and like that's another thing that does come from the skill trees is like I think you unlock, I don't know if it's samurai skill tree or just your weapon skill tree, but you unlock like while dodging in low stance, if it's a perfect dodge, you get a free key pulse.
Yeah, I think that's weapon to weapon.
Yeah, it is.
But most of them are still have it somewhere in it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I have a. No, it may just be on low stance, and I never really go on low stance.
I was stubborn. It took me a while to start using it. I think it's fine, but it's for me one of the reasons I really don't switch stances, because I find myself looking for a rhythm in combat with the stance I'm used to make sure I get my key pulse back.
There's a little game called Devil May Cry. Have you ever played Devil May Cry?
I have not, Tom.
It does feel
When I
kind of
think about play Devil May Cry. Well, you probably wouldn't like Devil May Cry, but you can find a good rhythm in Devil May Cry, and it's a lot of fun because it's just
Devil
straight
May Cry
over
is
the top.
amazing. I agree. Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, Ryan, because I think the reason, part of the reason why they have the key pulse is because you're already pushing R1 to do the key pulse, so you can switch stances just by tapping X, square, triangle at the same time.
Correct.
I think that's
what I
why
do
they have the
often.
key pulse.
Okay, so I don't like having to rely on camera lock on, and that means taking my thumb off of the camera stick for an undetermined amount of time to hit the button to change stances.
Yeah.
And I think
Tom's trying to work
I'm
it out.
trying
He's
to
like,
visualize
what
it.
the fuck are you talking about?
I think it
How long
is.
does it
I
take you to
think
move your finger?
it can be enough time, Tom, if you're trying to track several enemies
to be fair,
around you.
The way that this game is and how fast it is, that split second of off the camera to you could be attacked. I mean,
That's why
true.
you have the combos that switch the stances for you.
But again, that would require going through these obtuse menus that I just like. I see and I get information overload, and I just skip right by. That's why I haven't done any of the dojo. I haven't done any of the skills because it's just it's too much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying, but I can't fix that in my brain.
I would say with
it
like
comes
the
out as a
dojos and
problem
stuff,
for me in this game.
the dojos and stuff, it's not so much like a menu. That's just something that's like a side thing that you can do,
but like
that you
going
can
like
interact with.
selecting the skills, and it's just it's too much.
Like
too
the only
early.
way that like you can get more skills is to do that thing. I get it, but it's not like a bunch of menus and stuff. It's like a side quest basically, and they don't take long. But it's annoying that you can't. I do agree that you can't do this thing unless you do this other fucking monotonous thing for no reason. I do think that's annoying.
And I know I've talked a lot about my dislike of the controls, and I do think a lot of it comes down to the fact that I don't want to have to rely on camera lock on, and I want control of my camera all the time, and they constantly require you to use face buttons.
It's true. I don't like. I don't think there's a better way for them to do their control scheme, but their control scheme is like there's a lot going on.
It's busy. Yeah,
They have a lot going on in this game, and they fit it all on a controller, and that's very hard to do. So the other couple of mechanics here, we have burst counter, which there's 3 different kinds of burst counter depending on which whatever spirit you have on. What spirit did you guys go with to start, and which one are you using now?
bird.
If you've changed.
Yeah.
I was
using the bird
wolf,
as well.
whatever the strength one was.
Okay, I think
went
it's the bird.
strength. Yeah, because I'm all strength in my guy.
I think the bird's feral.
Oh, was the bird feral? Okay, then you probably
Bird is feral.
Okay, then yeah, you must have went for the wolf.
And then I switched it, I think, to the monkey. I think the monkey's feral as well. I switched it to that later on.
Interesting. Do you guys like the feral dodge? It's the only one I haven't tried, or the feral burst counter, I guess.
Yeah, it's basically like a big fucking dodge. And like if somebody does like a burst attack and you go into, I mean, the window for that is massive. So like I get that counter all the time.
It's also useful, like if you're out of key and you need to dodge, you can use it to get out.
Absolutely. It's a fucking lifesaver.
Very useful.
So great.
Yeah, I started with the gosh, I don't even remember which one you have the option for the magic one, the shark. Which that's the only one that is a bird. The burst counter is an actual like counter. It's a parry basically. And the timing window is very tight on the actual counter. So I have changed over to a feral, or not a feral, brute. Yeah, brute's the other one. Yeah, which is, from what you guys are describing, is basically the same as the feral. Seems like it's an actual strike, like a strike attack that goes out from you. But if the enemy is red, you can hit them. Like there's a big window for you to hit with that.
And that's basically what the feral is. Like if they the second they turn red and you do that, it hit the counter. So it's great because it's like so many times where that's happened where I'm like, okay, they're going to kick my ass. And then I do that. And then, I end up beating them. And it's seriously a game changer.
Yeah. The only time that I miss having the actual counter one is like something like the snake boss, for example. He has a, what are they called? The red attacks, rage attack, something like that. I don't know. I didn't write down a name.
Called burst attacks.
Burst attacks? Okay. That makes sense.
I think they're just burst attacks.
That makes sense. He has one where he like starts it at the beginning, and if you are in feral or brutes, you need to hit him while he's like turning red there at the beginning. But then he does this long slither across the map, and if you're in counter form, you can actually counter him like at any point during that slither across the ground. So there's instances where you have a wider window with the blue counter. God, I can't even remember what they call that one in the yokai shift form. It's like phantom. But yeah, that one also has the worst yokai shift that I've out of the 2 that I've used. The yokai shift is like, I don't know, it's like really fancy. It's like trying to jump around and like it's throwing its weapon out and doing twirls and stuff, and I just miss 99% of my hits. Whereas if I'm in brute form, I've got a big fucking club and I whack the guy.
Yeah, what did I do?
Feral, you
I
just have like
the elephant, and it was like that. It's like, oh, this is not good at all. I don't like this.
Yeah.
And then I switched back to the snake.
I think feral just has like 2 tone fuzz, right? Ryan?
Yeah.
I mean, like you're just like up close and just basically pummeling the shit out of
Yeah,
them.
the brute's just got the giant fucking tree trunk. You're smacking around.
I love the feral one when you're in yokai shift, which I guess we haven't really talked about though, but you can turn into a yokai at any point really once you charge it up. And I love that how quick and like precise that combo can feel like. And then when you press the triangle and circle to do like your special attack, and how it just, especially with the feral one, it creates like this big fucking lightning strike and shit. It's really cool. It's fun.
Yeah. So we don't get them here, but let's also talk about the other mechanic, because I want to talk about how R2 is basically everything that's tied to your yokai form, because it's also for the soul core abilities that we get access to a little bit later on. You hold R2 and push one of the face buttons. How do you guys like those?
Triangle, right?
Yeah, square, triangle.
I like it. I like that the whole soul thing. Like you
My
can
favorite
upgrade
mechanic
them.
in the game.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I love it. Super fun.
And there's a shit ton so far.
Yeah,
the thing
that
that makes that so cool is the fact that like you get soul cores throughout like your playthrough, and you can get more and more and more, and like slowly fuse them together to upgrade them to make them more powerful, and like they get their own kind of different ability or different attributes that help your character out and give you stat boosts. And I think that's so cool. And they're also like super helpful in combat. Like, and they all do different things. Like the ape throws a giant fucking staff on the ground, and then what is it? The fucking naked mole rat thing does that gross dig and
It's one of the
pops
best
his
ones.
gross,
And
disgusting
you can actually
body
go
out
through the
of it.
ground too.
Yeah, and like they're all different and unique and helpful in their own way. And it's really cool, like when you get the boss ones, and like it's like, okay, I can bring this boss back, and now I own this fucking boss's power. And I love that whole thing of just like attuning them, upgrading them, combining them together. It's cool. It's a really fun mechanic. I love that mechanic a lot.
Yeah, I need to do more of the upgrading because that's another menu I forgot about. But I really do enjoy those skills. I think that's probably that those skills give me the feeling that loot gives me in other games, where like, oh man, I got this really cool like kind of character defining.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It's like that's actually a good way to describe it. I hadn't thought about it, but like that's the loot that's exciting is the soul
Yeah.
core drops.
Well, because there's some that you barely come across. Like I got a skeleton archer one that I think I've only had drop like twice. And it's
Yep.
actually really cool because you summon 2 skeletons, one on each side, and they'll shoot an arrow straight ahead.
Right?
Yep.
I don't
Like,
think
There's
I know,
some that like, you know, you only encounter one of those guys once, and it's like, fuck, I didn't get a soul that time. You can keep going back and doing it if you want, but or you can
Yeah,
also
I don't
go
know if you
ahead
guys
and
ever
maybe
got
find someone.
the guy. He's like on a guitar, and he's like constantly summoning fucking dudes out of the ground. You have to kill him. I got one of those. I've only gotten one the entire time I played, and it's like so weird and random. But it's cool how they all have their own special abilities that you can use in combat, and they're all different and unique. Like the Medusa one, you know, you can fucking petrify enemies and stun lock them, and like basically get a free hit and shit. And that stuff is so cool. And that like that meter is just constantly building while you're doing combat. And like you can use them a lot. And that's the thing that it makes it even better is like I never feel like I'm not able to use them. Like I get to own that power, and they let me use that power. It's not like locked behind a bunch of shit like, oh, you gotta really fucking work for this. Like, no, you gotta work a little bit once you deplete your R or whatever, but it's gonna come back, and you're gonna be able to use it a lot.
Mhm.
It's great.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks about that bar and the yokai shift is the online's a little finicky. I've been kicked several times every time I join somebody. Excuse me. And you lose all that stuff. Like you can join back up. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. But you do lose your yokai bar and your anima bar, unfortunately. All right, let's jump into the missions here. The first mission, Village of Cursed Blossoms. Anybody have anything that sticks out here?
Very early on, they want to point out that like you don't have to fight everything.
Yeah.
There is a reason for that.
Especially on the fucking 7th mission, I definitely fucking ran through a lot of that.
Tell you what, this mission took Tom and I like
Oh, a long
fucking
time.
3 hours to beat because we had no idea what we were doing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there is like one instance where like you're going up the cliffside, and there's the first like yokai realm you get into with like the fucking monkey. I think
Mhm.
I don't even know if he's in a yokai realm. I think he's just
He's in one of those
I think he was
yokai
one of the
things.
yokai like orbs, and he comes
yeah,
out and
he's
like
in like
you
one
beat
of
him,
those
and then he's
yokai
gone
realms,
for the
and as
rest.
you come
Yeah.
up, and he fucked Tom and I up forever, forever,
Yeah.
until we finally got the rhythm.
Yeah, the
of
one
it.
right by the little shed or whatever.
Oh, I kept
You have to
fucking us
pass
up
him.
over and over. It was so embarrassing, man. We could not.
Also, we
fucking
should
beat
point
him.
out if you're playing with Tyler, he's going to kill himself by jumping off trees, and then you won't be able to get to him.
Oh my god,
I'm a
that
big
is
fan
true.
of falling in water.
Yes.
It's so funny you say that though, Tom, because I was playing co-op with Chris and Ryan, and I did that so many fucking times. And I was, like dead on a tree, like way the fuck up here. It's like I'm dead. Can you please revive me? But it wasn't
yeah.
really anything memorable about that level at all.
Yeah.
Except
Giant
like,
horse.
the fight at the end.
Yeah. Well, Babs submitted a question here. Thank you, a man named Babs from Discord. Chris, how do you guys feel about optional bosses in opening levels of games? Are there any examples that stand out to you for any reason? And what are some good ways that a game can convey to you that you can move on without finishing a fight, other than explicitly telling you in text?
I'm fine with them explicitly telling me.
I'm also
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah, I mean,
The
I
other
would say
way,
that we kicked that dude's ass.
on your first time through.
Oh, us three.
Oh
You and me,
yeah, we
Ryan.
did later. Yeah,
Yeah, we kicked the shit out of that dude.
yeah. We kicked its ass the first time that Rob was going to the level as well. Me, Ryan, and Rob. It was his first time to the level, and we just killed it because why not?
Well, once
Yeah,
you know how to play the game, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
that being the first thing you encounter, or not just actually the second, because you got a couple of those little weirdos.
Yeah, those little, I don't know what they are, bald dudes.
Yeah.
They're like Greikos or something. I can't remember their names.
Geckos, the Geico geckos.
Yeah, it's Gex basically.
Being a
That's what a gecko
Greeko.
for.
Yeah, as far as like, I like the optional bosses in the opening level kind of thing. You know, this is a very common From Software thing. The example I always go to is the dragons in Demon Souls first level that are kind of sitting off to the side. And I think the way that you communicate that you can move on without finishing the fight without text, but I like if they just have text, which, you
They
know,
can
in
murder
Souls
you
games,
right away.
yeah, exactly, is kill you in one hit. If the boss kills you in one hit, you should not be fighting that. But like, also there's, you know, they don't explicitly say it in text, the developers, but there are messages everywhere saying death ahead and shit. You know, the players tell you in text that you should not be fighting that. Any
I can't
examples?
really
to
think of
go
that from any other games though. Like, what other games really do that? Where it's like, hey, here's this opening optional boss. Like, I think Xenoblade does that kind of, like, where with enemies, where it's like, hey, here's this enemy in this area that, like, if you go to, it's gonna fuck you up. But
Alpha Snorlax is in the first level of Pokemon Legends
Oh my
Arceus.
God.
Alpha fucking Sphinx in Arceus. That shit fucked me up yesterday.
I feel like you could have experiences like that in like really open world games, something like Breath of the Wild. You could run into a boss that you're not designed to fight way too early. No,
No, 'cause that
I-
whole game, the whole point of that game is you can beat the game whenever you want.
yeah,
Well,
but I
you-
mean, not everyone is skilled enough to take on a Lionel with 3 hearts.
But that's, I guess, but it's a little bit different than like not being. I don't know. I just think it's different.
Okay,
You're right.
fair
You're
enough.
probably right. You're right.
Yeah, I think of
I succeed.
recently Tales of Arise has a lot of those big like alpha beast bosses throughout the game, especially that
Yeah,
cricket thing at the beginning, praying
Yeah,
mantis,
the big
whatever.
fucking scorpion bullshit. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a praying mantis. You're right.
That you can't
go
fight
back
until
to
the
it
end.
until like, yeah. What the
Yeah.
fuck was that?
I came
It
back
was
to
a-
that
it was
thing
a
at
whole
least
fucking
4
mission.
times throughout the game. Like, can I beat this yet? No,
Nope.
not even
And then
close.
there's another one later on that you can do in the snow area. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
the deer side quest where like you go out on the lake and there's a deer on the island.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is post.
That's another one.
That's post.
That's another one where you get that one like super early on, or it's probably like, I don't know, 3/4 way through the game, and it will fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
Like it's like end game kind of a thing.
It's true, and honestly, I really like stuff like that. You know, that's another case of like you get into the battle and you're dealing like 5 damage per hit, and then it kills you in like a minute. So pretty obvious that you're not supposed to be doing that at your current power level. So I like that. What I don't like is when it's not obvious that you're not supposed to win, especially like a game that has you are supposed to lose this boss fight, but then you win it because it's not really that hard, and then they're like, no, you lost. Actually, that's
That's
the
your
worst.
fairest part about games. I remember
No.
you saying that. You love
You know what-
when you beat the enemy
No.
and then it goes to a cutscene and you're getting your ass kicked.
It reminds me
Hate
of the optional boss in the beginning of Dark Souls, right? Like you don't have to kill that fucking dude, right?
Mm.
The demon
Yeah,
right at the beginning.
The giant
the
butcher thing or whatever.
Yeah, the demon butcher
That's
at
true.
the beginning. You don't have to kill him, but you can.
Yeah, I don't think you really get anything in that game for beating him, right? Maybe
No,
you
you,
get some
you can go
souls.
back there later. And
Satisfaction
you
of
yeah, you just get his fucking
killing
soul.
him?
There's like a handful of items throughout that cell that you can get. But anyways,
So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Babs. But yeah, this whole first level is very much a sink or swim kind of level. Like either you're gonna, if you finish this
God, we
level,
got
I
our
feel like
asses
you're
kicked so much.
I feel like you're set up to beat the entire game. If you, but I feel like a lot of people probably drop off in this first level, which is totally fair. Because yeah, that monkey killed me like probably 4 or 5 times before I got past him.
And then not only that, like right after the monkey, you come into the village, and there's like so many dudes hidden within those houses that like if you don't kill them and you keep going forward, you're just going to aggro them, and then you're going to aggro the ones ahead, and you're going to aggro the ones above, and they're all just going to fucking rain fire on top of you with these.
And then there's a
bullshit
bridge with water on both sides, and the tower
Yeah, and
rolls
it-
into the water and
Tom,
dies.
and eat my ass because I don't care. Because I've seen Ryan fall into the water about 15,000 fucking times. Okay,
It's true.
It's true. When I was playing with Ryan and Rob, they both got their asses kicked, and I came down to try to revive them, and I rolled into a small. There's a dock that goes like this, and then out around. There's a small hole of water that I managed to roll directly into, and it was great.
it's moments like that I think this game is like super fun, where it's like you're playing. Like the game is so fucking good in co-op. I think that's where it shines. It's like solo is fine. The combat is great, but it's fine. But when you're playing with your friends, it is so fucking fun. Like
Mhm.
it's just a blast because like there are so many times where you can just like absolutely bully an enemy. It's like an enemy that like when you're playing solo, it's like an actual challenge. You have to like focus and zone in. Where it's like if you're playing with your friends, like we're gonna bully the fuck out of this dude and just embarrass him, and
Yeah.
it feels so good.
Yeah, so the two kind of big yokai, other than the boss that were introduced here, is the monkey guy, and then there's also the one we run into all the time, the yokai guy, the very generic looking yokai guy with the two horns.
It's like a yokai ogre. I think is
Yeah.
basically the term for it.
Yeah, which he kind of just fights like a regular dude, but big. He's not anything
Well,
particularly
he's
special.
got that like crazy like pummel move where he's like swinging his fucking fists at you.
It's true, yeah. He has some tricky stuff, like he'll do like a slash at you and look like he's like done because his arm's all the way down by his side, but then he'll do a kick to follow up. Little things that you catch on to.
You shoot him right in the fucking horn though. Break that horn.
Yeah, every yokai you shoot it in the horn. Like
Except for the
half
tattoo.
of them have horns.
Tyler's
They're
favorite.
so horny. All these yokai. That was it. That's the one that's gonna bring this to a stall for a second.
Yeah, that was inappropriate, sir. We run into our first dark realm here, which is where like everything is. We didn't really talk about it with the key pulse earlier, but yokai will leave little tiny zones of dark realm on the floor, which I think they call that yokai realm or something. There's some distinction.
That's yokai realm. It is.
Yeah,
They're just marking their territory. Sometimes I go yokai realm in the bathroom.
It does kind of look like they're leaving a little something behind there. Your key pulse will clear that, but then when you're in the dark realm, you're just stuck with your key not recharging as fast consistently, and here the key pulses become
That shit
incredibly
sucks.
important
Super sucks. Super sucks.
because you can go through your stamina really fast, and if you're not using key pulses, it's going to take a long time for it to charge up.
Especially when you explicitly use high stance.
Yeah. And it's like
About-
four
I get
hits. And your
four
key is
hits, and I'm
gone.
like, oh fuck.
Yep.
Yep, and there's always chests and shrines and stuff in these dark realms that you can't interact with until you kill a specific yokai. Which is very stressful because usually, you come across one of these and it's like, hey, there's a shrine, but I can't interact with it. Boy, it's been a while since I've had one. I'd really like to, but I gotta go fight a really strong guy and kill him first. So I'll have fun with that, I guess. Let's see, and then we have the boss, which is basically the same as the horse guy from earlier. I didn't write down the horse.
A
They have
little
slightly different names.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's Mizuki is his name. What'd you guys think of the first boss here?
Cool looking. Cool design.
Yeah.
I love the
Great
environment that you're
design.
fighting.
Isn't he
in.
like sawing somebody fucking in half or something when you come
Mhm.
upon
Yeah.
him?
I saw
He's
him
got like a
suck.
big cleaver in his hand. Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of? Which I'm sure everybody will agree. When you enter the bosses, actually, it's just going to be Tyler on Godfall. Every time you get into a boss, like there's a really cool like little
Yeah.
intro.
It's one of the only things that game does well.
Fun to play.
It's true.
Yeah, it reminds me of a little series called Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Specifically Bloodborne, there's a boss you walk in on like sawing something in
Never
half.
heard
It
of
was
him.
very Bloodborne.
I don't know what that game is. I heard it's dingy and not great and a lot of gray
This
and
guy, come
Moving
on.
on.
They're good games.
alien
They're good.
intestines hanging around.
So that's kind of the end of the first level. Let's read this comment from Mike here. I don't know. I should have read this earlier. I don't know why I slotted it here. Do you guys think the game maybe gets in its own way with having so much customization? I find the abundance of menus and huge skill tree can be intimidating without looking at a guide. This is kind of the first time you're kicked back to the map and start actually digging through all these menus and your loot and stuff. So I feel like we covered
no.
that quite a bit.
I will say no. Just to talk about the question. No, I don't. Because you don't have to engage with it. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm having a great time playing the game. I'm not engaging with it. Like the shit that I don't care and understand about, I'm not going to engage with. I'm having a great time. No, Mike. You can play the game. Have a good time.
I don't think it's detracting from the fun, but I do think I want to bring it up because like it is anytime I like just scroll past the menu, I'm like, in my mind a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have fun digging through the menus, but I don't really have fun digging through menus in any game. Unless it's like, you know, a turn-based RPG or whatever, and I'm choosing moves and stuff, and I'm actually like thinking about what I'm doing. I don't know. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of because it's all autopilot at this point. I'm just kind of like, let me look at the switchclaves that I got. Oh, none of them are better. Okay, let me mark everything here. Let me look through the armor, see if there's any higher numbers, see if those higher numbers have modifiers that I want. It's just kind of busy worky. But I don't think it gets in the way of me enjoying the game.
The thing
personally.
is you don't have to engage with it. For that.
Yet.
I mean, are you literally throwing away every piece of loot? You're not even looking for higher numbers?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I look for the higher number, but then I see if it's how much higher it is compared to the familiarity and like how much familiarity I can get versus what I have now.
Sounds like a
You know what I
lot of
mean?
engagement.
Yeah, do you hit R1 to go over to the actual weapon you're using, or do you literally scroll through everything?
No. I only go to I only go through the ones that I'm using, and then everything else gets trashed.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about anything else.
That's all I do. Just go to what I'm using.
And so it's
sword
very
type.
limited. It's like, okay, I'm focused on this weapon. Do I have anything better? Quick glance. Nah, trash. I give it to the Kodama, and they give me my elixirs, and then we go on our happy way. You know.
Or
Yeah.
you don't do that, and then you end up not having any elixirs. And you're like, oh man, we're at the boss. I don't have any elixirs. No, I don't have any at the shrine. What am I supposed to do?
That's happened. But then I realized, hey, fuck the blacksmith. I'm not going to break my shit down at the blacksmith because fuck making weapons at this point. I'll just give everything to Kodama because they're cute and green and got hats on their head.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about Kodama. You can find the Kodama in the levels and get different blessings depending on how many
Just
you
have
found.
4
Hold
different
on.
kinds.
Shut up. We're going to talk about the better version, the Sudama.
Give
They
him
don't
a
bless
fucking
you.
Item, and he gives
They
you
don't bless
garbage
you,
back.
but they're the cutest little pieces of shit. They're just like these little purple guys. They're holding little spider lilies, and they're like, "Hey, you want to give me some shit?" You give them some shit, and they
Yeah,
just
but
give you some
here's
fucking...
the better thing. Us
they do
not
to
knowing
me.
what to do the first time and hitting it and it fucking murdering you.
That's true.
Did it kill you with its 200 damage?
Oh, dude, it hit him with a fucking lightning bolt or something, and he just fucking died.
That's great.
Was it me or you? I thought it killed you.
No, it killed you.
Anyways,
I'm the one that hit it, but it killed you.
The thing is like they're the exact opposite of a Kodama. Like they're just like these like anti-Kodama basically, and you just give them shit. And if you're me, you give them stuff, and they're just like, "Hey, here's some fucking
You give them
mud
good
water.
stuff, and then they give you shit.
Enjoy this.
that you
Enjoy
can't
this
use.
muddy water that you don't need." I'm like, "Okay, little
Oh, he's so mad that his
buddy, take
computer
that out of here."
exploded.
They just
Oh.
they're the best. I love them. Sudama all the way. Sudama for life. Love them.
Yeah, sure. I didn't know what to do with Sudama. That is something I ended up having to look up because there's a side quest where you just have to clear the
I
Kodamas and
We
looked
looked it
Sudamas.
up on the third boss, I think, when we came across the next one. But yeah, that first time we came across it, we're like, and he's like, wait, I know what to do. And then he's like, I don't remember what you did first. You threw something at it. I'm like, well, fuck it. And then I just hit it. And then, yeah, he just went boom, like a big thunderbolt, and fucking Tyler's just dead.
Yeah, but they're cool, man. That's cool.
And this is the first kind of bit of story we get. You meet the merchant man, Tokichiro.
He's a bad
who-
guy. He's gonna be a
Oh,
bad
yeah?
guy. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I mean, he is looking for these soul. What do they call them? Soul stones, soul fragments.
Yeah.
Soul,
Spirit.
spirit cores. I don't know.
Spirit stones.
Spirit stones.
They're yellow
Spirit
stones.
Yellowstones. Yeah, the thunder
He's
stones.
going to Yellowstone National Park.
You find Yogi later, so it's fine. It's
Uh,
jelly.
yeah, he's collecting the spirit stones, which seem to be bad things. So maybe you're right, Tyler. Maybe
Aren't
he's a
they
big bad guy.
part of the blade? Isn't that how the blade was made? That killed the demon that everybody hated at the beginning. It was.
How would you
forged
know?
from
You're
the-
not paying attention to the story.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's coming out. He's a fake. Oh no, I'm not there. But he's like
He's been reading
got a
all the
full fucking
wikis.
notebook
That was
full
the
of
only
like
part I
everything.
remembered. It was like, hey, there was this blade forged from all these fucking yellow stones. And I was like, okay. And it broke
Yeah.
apart after they killed the demon lord or whatever, the fucking yokai lord.
Yeah, I know there's a cutscene later where two lords are like talking about how they think Tokichiro has died or whatever, and they're glad because he's collecting spirit stones, and spirit stones bring bad luck to man or like something
he
of
is.
that nature.
I think he's a yokai in disguise.
I don't
He's
know.
trying
We're
to collect
yokai,
them.
so
We're happy.
No, but I think he's a bad yokai. We're a cool yokai. He's bad.
Now, why haven't we seen his little fucking animal yet? Oh, yeah, he's got
Yeah, he has a little monkey.
The monkey.
monkey.
Yeah, well, you can use the monkey. Are you evil?
Probably.
The monkey doesn't make you evil, Tom.
You don't know that. Why
Just
isn't the
makes you
monkey
wanna throw
stopping him? And throw your poop at people?
Yeah, why didn't you get
That's
a poop
right.
throw ability? What is wrong with this
Yeah.
game?
Yeah. Someone write Koei Tecmo and let them know.
Look, if it's not too late, can you just put poop throwing in Final
Put
Fantasy
poop in there.
Origins, please?
We need
10
more
out of 10.
poop.
And you
We'll
might
say
as well
10 out of
urinate
10.
on him too right away.
They already added
Yeah.
the poop with all those
Just make
menus.
this
Am I
Death
right, Ryan?
Stranding.
I thought you were just gonna make it fucking, Okami, but whatever.
Oh yeah, the
Alright,
poop
game.
bombs.
That
That was
game's
good stuff. Good
it's
I
stuff.
thought
Great
that's
game.
what we were referring to, but apparently that just went.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that game.
I just like throwing shit. All right, so that's kind of it for the first mission. The second mission, the Beastborn of Smoke and Flames. You get a cutscene. You go talk to what's his name, Dosan. I have his name in here somewhere, but I think it's Dohan. And you're helping him clear yokai out of this area or whatever. What sticks out to you guys about the second mission, the one where you fight the fire tornado guy?
The inside of the temple or whatever, when it's on fire and you got to knock the water buckets down, is super fucking cool.
Mhm.
Love that shit.
Except when somebody falls off the top floor and everybody's on the bottom floor and they can get back up to bring them.
I always talk shit.
I didn't say who it was. I never said, hey, Tyler's the one that fucking fell off.
This
You
dude
could have been
over here
talking about
talks-
Chris.
Dude talks so much shit. You know what? And we one shot that fucking boss too. And you want to sit over there and talk shit? How many times? Okay, hold on. Everybody shut the fuck up. I'm gonna talk shit about Tom for a second. How many times that fucking hammer yokai whoop your fucking ass? Okay,
I don't know how many times have you gotten killed by a Tengu?
not that many.
As many as
Not that
I've been
many.
killed by the
No way
one-footed
in
hammer.
hell, dude. No way.
Also, this is where you get your first hot spring is in this level.
No,
With
that's
the door.
first. I think that's the first one that we found. Maybe was there one in the 1st
Isn't-
one? There could have been.
I don't
I
know.
don't remember.
This is the
it.
first one
Because-
I've seen.
Yeah, and it's behind that fucking evil fucking wall.
Yeah,
It's
also,
super cool. You can
Okami.
find evil walls and break them down. At hot springs.
Yeah, it's very Okami. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think we're finding
No,
out that
shut
Tyler
the
actually
fuck
likes Okami.
It's almost like both of these things are inspired by Japanese history and myths and folklore.
And one of them is good, and one of them sucks ass.
They're both pretty good. Yeah, I like that the fake walls in this game. You know, fake walls, Souls like staple, but they're like a big yokai that you can fight. And Rob was
Fucking
telling
whip
us.
your ass, too.
Yeah, Rob was telling us when we played with him that in the first game, anyways, you could like do some kind of gesture to just make him move out of the way. I don't know, but I didn't look that up. I'm sure he's
Ooh, I
correct
didn't-
though. It sounds.
I didn't play the first one, so I don't know.
But I want to kill them because I want to try to pick up one of their souls. And
They're not great.
Get one of their souls. What?
They're not
You have
great.
one?
Yeah,
You have one?
I
I have
have
one.
one. I don't really care for them.
I don't.
He just does like
They're
a big
all right.
slam.
I mean, it's all right. Yeah, it's just like him in front. Claws.
It kind of remind me of a thwomp.
There's other cooler ones. Yeah,
Totally.
the Japanese version. Wait,
Yeah.
it is already Japanese.
Wait.
Yeah, I was like, what? It's really
Yeah,
just a Mario game.
It is.
totally.
It's
Totally.
if Mario had sex with
What?
Aromatotsu or what the fuck its name is. And then this is the baby, Nioh 2.
Yep.
What?
He said
Mario
Neo 2 is for
bang.
babies. Mario babies.
Just why Ryan can't figure out the menu system.
This dude over here talking so much shit, Ryan. Come on.
I'm not surprised.
It's been so long. It's all pent
Tom
up.
felt left out.
Also, I was thinking about, isn't the combat in Spider-Man like a lot with the triggers and then press the face button too.
Yeah, but it pauses the game when you hit the bumper. It like holds time for a moment, so it
it's
negates
just
the fact
Spider-Man.
that I have. And I don't have to move my finger off of the joystick. It's a bumper and rotating the joystick. This is like during live combat, moving to a face button.
I
And
wonder if like they do prefer you to lock on in that situation. Then
they basically
yeah,
mandate
it seems like that's how they
like,
encourage you to play is lock on.
but I don't like that.
Why?
I want to control my camera. Ever since I got back buttons and started playing Souls games, like controlling your camera yourself is so much better. Especially in the fast-paced ones. It was so much better in Sekiro to be using the back buttons for like my dodge, my heal, so that I didn't have to take my thumb off of the camera stick.
Yeah, I'll say I also generally avoid lock on, but I do use it in this game because even the basic attack is on the square button. You know, did you change your buttons
Yeah.
around for basic?
I
attack to be
tried
on
it
normal?
and it's worse, which is why I think you're right, Chris. Like, I don't think there's a better way to do the control scheme, but I just think it's too busy and it's a little off-putting to me. I'm getting accustomed to it, but I don't really like it.
Okay. Yeah, we also mentioned the hammer one-footed yokai guy. That guy's new in here. He can fuck right off.
We mentioned how he fucked Tom up. That's what we mentioned. Let's not forget.
I'm not going
lot.
to deny the fact that he fucked me up.
A lot.
The other new yokai here is just the bigger version of the little assholes that we saw in the first level. These things
They're
are
in the
super
first
annoying.
level.
Are they? Is it only if one of them chews on your face or something?
If they chew on your
no,
face,
If you're
and
playing
they'll-
in multiplayer, then they see. I think the big ones are more prevalent.
yeah, and
Okay.
they'll also like if you down one, they'll go over and eat their body and turn into a big one.
Oh, really?
Yes. So don't go
They're
down.
They're
on
called, they're called
Don't go down
Genkai,
on
by
them.
the way. That was what they're called. I remembered what they're called.
Okay.
Okay.
Um.
They're
Yeah,
gross.
I do like this level a lot. It makes more use of the kind of Dark Souls style level wrapping around on itself. Less shrines spread out and more of just like you keep wrapping around to the same shrine with shortcuts, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
And then we have the boss here, Anenra. You guys said you beat him in one shot?
Yeah, man, this guy was a fucking joke. Fuck him and his bullshit fire tornadoes. He was fun to fight though.
Nice.
Super fun fight.
and get the fire foot tornadoes after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably took me like 4 or 5. I was running it solo, but
That's why.
Yeah, we one shot like I think every boss.
'Cause,
Yeah.
like he said,
Like,
you just fucking bully the shit out of these guys.
yeah.
yeah, this
It's
boss, I've done every level solo once before playing it co-op, which is more coincidence than like me stubbornly trying to do them co-op or do them solo. But this boss and then the third boss that we'll talk about here in a little bit fucked me up quite a bit. But every other one I've managed to beat first try. I don't know if the game's getting easier, or if it's just my builds getting more OP.
Well, I one-shotted the third boss, but that's because I dropped out, and I think Tyler had to fight it by himself. I lost
True.
connection.
Nice.
I think he whooped my ass.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. But then we learned a different thing about how to get to that boss.
It's true.
We'll get to
What
Uh,
talk about?
Yeah. So for this guy, I was still using the burst counter, like the actual counter one on this guy, and I do not like trying to counter that fire tornado move that he does. Because you have to do it right at the last minute while he's moving really fast as a fiery tornado, instead of him charging it up for like 3 seconds. You can just smack him with the brute stance or whatever.
Mhm.
And I think
that's
that's
definitely
why
better.
we kicked his ass so easy, is because every time he would try to do that, I got that counter in super quick. Like, countered the fuck out of that dude the whole time. And we kicked his ass in what, 2 minutes, maybe 3? It was
Hell yeah.
It
super
did not
quick.
take
It was a
long.
very quick fight.
Yeah. Did you guys even bother using the water barrels, or did you just beat his ass so hard you didn't need them?
We did it the first time. We as soon as
Yeah,
we
I
got in
think
there, we shot him.
You ran into
shot one
two,
down.
yeah.
Yeah. Was it 2? I can't remember.
Yeah, but it was like in succession, so I think one of them was just pointless.
Yeah.
It's like, eh.
But we really didn't need him.
Yeah, but I think that's some smart level design. That the previous room they had you run around kicking down these water barrels, and then you walk into this boss and you can see the water barrels kind of staged above that he can knock down.
Mhm.
So they've already let you know how that works.
Which I think so far has been, except for the first one, there is a little thing you can do to every boss that'll do something to them.
Interesting. I know about the next one. I don't know
In
that
the
I know
actual
all of them.
fight, if it's before, yeah. So like the next one, it's not during the fight. It's something you find on the level that happens then to the boss.
Ryan, you have
Which
any thoughts
also
on
for the last one?
Enenra?
We whooped the shit out of him. We played all this co-op, and this is still. It was about mission 3 when I finally started to really feel comfortable. So this is a fight y'all did a lot while I stood back and kind of dodged in for a swing or two here or there. I think the tower climb was the best part of the level.
Good. It's a really good level design. Like the way that you're going through and winding through this burning village, and I mean that level's super fun. It's a great level.
Yeah, and there's an optional boss too that you can go down and kill through the middle. You can drop down that middle when you drop the last water barrel down. There's
Oh
that
yeah.
optional boss down there.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's one of those the hammer guys in a dark zone or dark realm. So there's no division. So yeah,
Dark zone.
after this level, you meet the yokai slayer lady with the cool mask, Mumio, I think is her name.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, she shows up.
Did you say piece of shit?
He's the shit.
Big difference.
The shit.
Yeah, it is
difference.
a big difference. Piece of shit.
She shows up and wants to kill you, but Tokichiro is like, no, I'll give you food. And then you go eat together, and she's still like, nah, just like killing yokai. Bye.
That's why he's the bad guy, because he wouldn't let her kill you.
Exactly. And you're the bad guy. Galaxy Brain.
He's using you for something. Come on.
Sex.
That's why he doesn't want her to kill him.
Maybe. She comes around a little bit later, though.
He does. About 5 missions from now, I would say.
This
Isn't
is
it like on 2 missions?
No, it's 5.
It's exactly one mission. It's the next at the end of the next mission.
It's the
Doesn't
7th
she
mission.
come to help you get through? Like I thought it was a lot sooner than that.
I don't remember. I told you I'm not paying attention to this fucking story. Damn it.
So this is the point where they do tutorialize titles and reputations. Maybe if you just haven't interacted with them yet, they tutorialize it. Because I know Ryan, I think we were on the second mission when Tyler told you about them.
No, they'll do it no matter what.
Oh, they still
because I
tutorialize
remember,
it?
because I remember going through it, just finding it, but then they still tell you after this mission, they're like, "Hey, go here." I'm like, "Oh, I already went here." But
Okay. Yeah, I had not been there yet because I do know that we told Ryan about it early, and I told him, oh, you might not be able to access that yet because I thought maybe you couldn't do any of that stuff until it tutorialized it, but you can do it whenever you want. I mean, that might explain why you would miss that tutorial as well, is because we were playing co-op and just,
zoomed
Just
right
go in.
past everything.
Yeah.
this is also where you unlock the blacksmith. You start crafting stuff, but like we've kind of talked about, there's no point right now, really. It doesn't seem like.
Unless you want to change what it looks like.
That's
I
true.
do like you can transmog.
Yeah, you can make sure that you're wearing a Kodama hat at all times.
That's right. And
If
they're the
you're
best.
Tyler.
You can wear a bowl on your head.
It's very important.
And then I think they show up for the first time either the next mission or the following mission, but you can't do a side mission right now where the boss is one of those Tengu guys who are a pain in the ass. They haven't been too bad if I use the Sloth Talisman, which is one of the magic talismans that is pretty easy to get to. I recommend you go for it in your magic tree, even if you're not using magic. You may as well grab it if you're getting any magic skill points, which I don't know what you do that would give you magic skill points if you're not actually using magic. Do you guys use like any of the fire talismans or water talismans or any of that stuff you find?
I have, what one did I unlock? Whatever one turns your sword like blue flame. Purify, maybe?
Purification, yeah.
Yeah, so I have purification, and then I have the poison jutsu that I put on my blade.
Yeah,
Where do these go? I don't
have
even think I've
fire
gotten
and
any
wind,
talismans.
I think.
You gotta do the dojo. Don't you, to start them? Yeah, to start it, don't you have to do the dojo?
I don't think you
You
have
can
to
find
magic?
talismans. Talismans are items that you can find as
Mhm.
well that you can equip. And if you equip those to your sword and use them, you can get points into that as well.
Yes, you can also
Which is what I did.
find ninja locks and Onmyo mage locks, which are just they're
What's the
not
other one?
locks.
There's
They're not
another one
actual
too, right?
locks, Ryan. I'm sorry. Yeah, samurai locks you can also find.
Samurai, yeah.
And you can use those. They just give you skill points to use in the trees. And as soon as you get one skill point in ninjutsu or Onmyo magic, you can start like just using whatever stuff you unlock in there to continue getting experience. Definitely recommend getting the sloth talismans if you're having a hard time with the game, because they just slow down the enemy dramatically. They're very useful. Excuse me. So we've got another comment from Mike Furnished. I don't know why I put it here. Don't ask me. He says, I guess I feel like that the game does a lot of things generally okay, but I wish it did a few things really great. How do you guys feel about that comment? Thank you for your comment, by the way, Mike. Oh, well,
Isn't that everybody's hope for any game? That they
that
would
is
do
everybody's
everything
hope for
great?
many game. I think
Yeah.
what he's saying is he's not getting that.
No.
I
Right.
think the moment to moment combat is great, but it's buried under layers. And like, how willing are you to lift those layers back or find the layers that work for you? And you know,
Like an onion.
Yeah, or an ogre.
It's
Thank you.
or a fruitcake.
What'd you call me?
What?
Sir?
Yeah, I think that's my problem with the game. That's the way I would describe it, is that there's too many things built on top of what is a great system that muddies the water too much.
I think another issue is that people have a preconceived notion of what this game should be based off of their biases for other games. And because it doesn't meet those expectations, they're automatically going to be disinterested in what it is. That's how it is with anything. You know,
Yeah.
if you have a certain affinity for one thing and it's something that is supposed to, in quotes, be like that, you're going to automatically compare it to every aspect of that thing that you have that affinity for, like to the upteenth degree.
So
And
I actually
that's just how shit works, you know. I mean,
After our
that's
little
how we as
comment-
people work.
section with for Nioh 2 kind of went very meh in South Road the other day. I actually Googled it, and it's a common thing. Why do most people that like Souls like hate Nioh? Not hate, but like dislike a lot of it.
And it's just
It's a commonly researched thing, and there's a lot of Reddit on it too. So, but I don't do Reddit.
But it's just one of those things, right? It's like there is a standard that is out there in the world that was presented from another company, and there are games who have tried to copy that and spin it into their own thing, and you're automatically, no matter what, going to try to spin it up against that thing because that's what you know, and that's what you are aware of, and that's what you can vibe with, if you will.
They
and
can't
I
all
think
be
that's-
superior like the Surge too.
That is 100% true. Gets it. That's right. Nioh 2
These
is
two-
no the
These
Surge
two aren't looking that way.
I would agree. I think I like the Surge 2 more than I've been liking Nioh 2 so far.
Wow, on the flip flop. It was like a couple days ago you said Nioh 2 was better, but okay.
Did I?
You definitely did, but it's fine. It's fine. I like
Surge 2
this more,
combat
but
is just
Surge
beyond
2 is amazing. Anyways,
that combat.
but that's what it is. It's like it's hard to get it. It is harder to get into those kind of games that are supposed to be like that game that you like because you're going to compare it to that thing. And that's just what it is. It's like why people don't like Code Vein, The Surge, Mortal Shell. I mean, even me, I'll shit on Mortal Shell all day. That's supposed to be like a Souls game. I love Souls games. I love these kind of games. Mortal Shell, piece of shit. You know, and I'm gonna compare it to the games that I played before. And compared to the games that are before, fucking sucks. I hate it. I don't ever want to play it again. I hope they don't ever sell it again. I don't want them to make another one.
damn. Calm down, buddy.
Hot take.
They're a small team.
Take.
You don't got shit on them.
Good. They're a small team. They should disband. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just
It's messed up.
doing it for the comedy.
You know, Rob does ask, do you think games in the Souls-like category will always live in the shadow of games like the original Dark Souls for how tight the level design is for the first 2/3 of that game? And
Here's
I think
the thing is I don't really give a lot of flying fucks about Dark Souls, so I'm fine with any of these games.
yeah,
They will always live in the shadow. They will.
I think in the
Not to me.
general perception, they definitely do. I will say I put this like somewhere in the middle of From Software's titles in terms of like if I were to rank them as of right now. Obviously, we're still quite early in Nioh 2. Maybe the second 2/3 of this game are trash, like the last third of Dark Souls. I don't know.
Because the last third of Dark Souls is a pile of fucking garbage.
So bad.
It is. It's very bad.
All right, let's move on. Oh, go ahead.
I think there's a possibility where games like this can break free of that heritage, but we're not out of that timescape yet. Like,
Surge.
Well, but that's the thing. In the public perception, that did not break free. People say that that game is bad. The reviews are pretty good. Just like the
people in
reviews for
large
Nioh
groups
and
are
Nioh 2.
idiots, so
That's true. The reviews for Nioh 2, the Surge 2 are all
also
really
very
good.
positive, Yeah.
They're all pretty positive. I think reviewers can break free of that. I think individuals can break free of that. But as wider culture, like most people you talk to are going to be like, oh yeah, top 10 Souls likes, the top like 7 or whatever are all From Software's games. And then they'll list 3 others.
Yeah. And that's when you bring in all kinds of bullshit with biases and stuff like that, where it's hard for people to break free from that kind of train of thought. And
Which,
there are people who stick with a franchise and you love what you love, and that's it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah, I do want to say I don't begrudge anybody who does that.
Exactly.
I think there are a lot of people in our community who would agree that some From Softwares are all the best. I'm not at that level of love for everything From Software does, but I think probably my top 4 are probably all From Software games. I think they do what they do incredibly well, but I do think it is very hard to make a Souls-like and have it break through in the way that From Software's games do. I will say, if a non-From Software developer was making Elden Ring and it was exactly Elden Ring, it would not have the hype
Would not be
that
this hype.
Elden Ring is. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
It's
It's
the
100% true. And that is where you say that is bias, and that's what it is. And that's fine. That's how we as humans are wired. And it's not a big deal. But it kind of sucks in a way, because it's like titles like Nioh 2, Surge, stuff like that, Code Vein, Remnant even, it takes away from them, because people don't want to acknowledge them for the things that they do well, because they're going to automatically pick out the things that it does poorly.
In all honesty, all I want from Software is Armored Core.
isn't that in the
We're going
works?
to be getting that apparently.
Constantly rumors.
But like, my hype for Armored Core is like this. Elden Ring, it's like around here.
I mean, Elden Ring looks like one of the best games ever, but that's fine.
Elden Ring is one of the best games ever. The game you've never played.
A game you have not
I said
played
it
yet.
looks like one of the best games ever.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't mean anything. There are games that look very well that are steaming piles of shit. Like, I'm not saying this is a steaming pile of shit.
It's true. All right, let's move on to the 3rd level here, the Viper Sanctum.
And Mike really threw this
The Viper's sphincter? I'm sorry, is that
Mike,
what
we
you
appreciate your comments, I want to say.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate you, sir.
Welcome to the Viper Sphincter.
Welcome to the Viper Sphincter, Mike.
That's what Tom
You're
said on
here
his prom
and
night.
we're leaving. Bye.
It's like Tom's prom night.
God. So what sticks out about this level to y'all?
Medusa's?
About this level
Yep.
is I think this was the level that I was showing Ryan. I was like, hey, you see this well over here? This is a little From Software ditty over here. Let's go to this well and knock this rock in. And then brings up the items. There's so many of them going up to the fucking cave in this area for no reason. I love that shit. This level is super fun. And this like design for how you can go through and break apart these statues, not knowing what they're going to be doing later on that will affect the game. Super cool. Tom and I didn't know. We found that out. Great revelation.
Actually, we hit it. We're like, why is there a fucking earthquake as soon as you destroy the statue? It's weird.
Great revelation. Super fun.
Yeah. It does.
Also, we didn't even talk about how like the verticality of enemies. Like, you got to be looking up a lot. You got fucking archers up on things. Like in here, you got those fucking Medusa bitches just like hiding up in the ceiling and they just drop down. Next level, you got the fucking crazies jumping out of the trees at you.
It's great. This level fucking rules, dude.
Yeah, this is a fun level.
Yeah, this is a very good level. It's not my favorite level. I think my favorite level is
And the slime.
the 6th
There's
one.
a slime in this too.
Yep, there are new slimes. They die instantly to like a fireball. But if you're trying to use just melee attacks, they take a very long time to take down.
I mean, Chris, this is not a new enemy to us. They were in Nioh 1. I mean, remember you fight that entire boss and it's a giant one of those.
I think you're thinking of Demon Souls, the first boss of Demon Souls.
But no, but there is also one in Nioh where you fight it on the dock with all those
Yeah, no, I remember
tengus.
that. That level fucking sucked. That was the worst
did.
level.
That fucking boss fight sucked. All those tengus. You eat my ass.
Oh, whatever you want, man.
Maybe
right.
you should just try watering them.
Okay.
Ryan, anything stick out in this level, do you?
How screwed I would have been if I wasn't playing co-op with you when I took a swipe at one of those slimes and it was like, oh, that's a sliver of health. And then I see a fireball come flying by me and obliterate it in one hit.
I don't. What did Tyler? What did we do? We did not have problems with the slimes, and we didn't either of us.
Well,
are using
okay,
magic.
so the thing with the slimes is they're not only weak to fire. If you hit them a couple of times, they'll bring their core up to the surface, and you can like one shot them when the core pops up. You got to hit them a few times before the core pops up.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we were just bullying it until it popped up, and then
Yeah,
all my high
they're
stance is
they're very
overhead
easy.
attacks. So it's just right down the middle. Like in one hit, I can usually shatter anything's horn.
Hey, shh, Tom, we don't want to tell him. Shh. I mean, no, Chris did it. Chris did it all. He threw his fireballs everywhere.
Yep. Chris is wagging his balls all over the place.
Anyways, yeah, the new Medusa moat and yokai is the biggest thing that stands out to me about this level, other than the boss, which we'll get to in a second. Because they're still popping up and they are still a pain in the butt every time. Definitely like one of the most essential ones to do your burst counter on, because otherwise you just get paralyzed. And it seems pretty consistently if you're mashing the button, you can get away before she does the grab. But anytime she paralyzes you, she's gonna go for the grab, and if she gets you, that's like 90% of your health.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
second worst enemy in the game, easy.
I don't think they're that bad.
They are.
You said they're the worst enemy in the game?
I said second worst enemy.
Oh, behind what? Tengu?
Tengu. Tengu's first, and then there is second.
Okay. So you hate
So
birds
far.
and snakes. Understood.
Birds and snakes, you know.
Ballard's
What about the next one with the murderous little fucking he bitches with the fucking
Not that bad.
knives?
But you know what else we
It
totally
can be
skipped over
solo,
that I
man. They can
forgot
fucking suck.
that is in this level is the little fat cat that you can get.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been skipping out the whole game so far.
Yeah,
but
they are in
a-
other levels. This is the first level I found one too, though. But yeah, he's freaking adorable. He's the best thing in the game.
Can't remember what they're called, but they got a name. But they're like these
Scampus.
Thank you. There's like this tiny little fat ball of dough. It's a little cat and it just follows you around. It's the cutest fucking thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And when
Little
you're in
attack shit.
when you're one of the yokai realms, they're like all spiky, look really
they're great.
angry. It's so cool.
Just and then like we'll get to it. There's a cutscene later with one, and it's great.
Yeah, so let's talk about Yatsunokami, which is the big boss here. This was definitely
Great
the hardest boss for me. Took me probably like 8 or 9 tries. I got completely destroyed just over and over again, which you guys did point out, like, oh, you didn't take away all the poison, because I only destroyed 1 or 2 of the snake statues, not all of them. I didn't have problems with getting poison here though, but maybe the extra maneuverability of not having to worry about the lakes would have helped. But it was a case of a classic Souls thing of bashing my head against it for an hour or 2 at night, and then going to bed, waking up in the morning, and beating it first try.
Yeah, I think we beat it our first try, and then we were like, the door that opens behind it, we're like, oh shit, maybe we should have made him run into that. And they're like, nope. Then the door opens for the cutscene.
We didn't beat him first try. It was second try because Tom got disconnected. But
I beat him my first try.
when we first played him together, we beat him. I did not, because I was already super low health when he got disconnected, and then he like.
I'm pretty sure he had no elixirs left.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a super cool fight. I love the fact that you do something outside of this fight, and it affects the environment within inside of this fight. Like there are like 4 snake statues within this mountain, and like once you destroy them all, it takes away the poison within. So if you don't, Chris, I don't know. I mean, how much poison was left? But I'd be curious to go and fight it without destroying any of them to see how much poison is actually in that environment.
Yeah, it's not as bad as the Dark Souls 2 boss where you can do that. It's literally just poison pools. The entire arena is a poison pool, but...
Oh, yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Like Medusa-like thing? It's a platform or whatever? Yep.
But yeah, it's interesting. This boss has an interesting mechanic where it has 2 little like snake arms that are kind of its own enemies, and if you break its... what do they call the gauge on the yokai? It's not ki. They call it something else for yokai, but I don't remember what it is. Whatever. If you break their gauge, anytime you break a boss's gauge, they'll like activate the Dark Realm to get it back, right? After you've beat up on them for a little while. If you do that while she's still got her little snake arms, they'll turn into their own little enemies, which is very annoying. So you got to kill those before you breaker. guard.
Immediately. Just fucking they pop up. Take those out.
Also, a
immediately.
super weird like boss design. Like, here's a snake with a narwhal horn.
And two
You know?
snake arms. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be very furry. A furry
Sounds
snake with a
fine.
narwhal.
Yeah, perfectly makes sense.
Very cool. I played through that level I think 3 times, so it was very fun.
Yeah.
I like
it's
that
good
boss a
level.
lot. And you get a very cool cutscene at the end.
Ryan, did anything stick out about this whole level to you, really, other than the slimes?
I mean, meeting the Medusas, but I think you guys overhyped them too much for me, and they're just my estimation. Yeah, I mean, you guys have pretty much covered it. I think the ability to destroy the poison swamp is great.
Yeah. You do. This is the first. I think this is the first new spirit you get after this cutscene, and I did switch to the snake spirit and keep it on for the rest of the time because it's a bird spirit, and that's all I'm gonna use now. So yeah, you get a really nice, cool cutscene here where Dohan's spirit like comes out and invades your mind and shows you his past, where he like married a yokai woman or something, right? Does that sound right? He fell in love with a yokai woman. Do you guys think this is your daddy?
I thought that for a second. I was
Yeah.
like, is this
Maybe.
Papa? Oh yeah.
Papa,
Could be.
save me, Papa.
But yeah, and then he pushes you into a cave and tells you to run because some yokai are coming, which is really weird. You know, it's a classic video game thing of like 3 yokai run at him. And it's like, I could kill those 3 yokai. Why am I running? I could do that,
let me
dude. You
go
don't need to
at
die
him.
here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he fights him by himself, and we never, up to this point, see a body. So I'm not convinced, honestly, that he's dead. But they do keep saying that he's dead. Supposed to
Yeah.
assume that at least.
He's not dead.
Yeah, I think he's not dead. I think he's your daddy. He's gonna come and tell you, "I'm your daddy," and
Papa.
everybody's gonna cry.
Papa.
Yeah, so
Well
that's gonna be
That's
your
gonna be
character's
his
first
word. He's
words.
never gonna talk because his first word's gonna be Papa.
Papa.
And they're gonna be like, oh, his first word was Papa.
And it's gonna be the same
Oh,
voice if you're male or female, because it's gonna be a baby's
right.
voice.
Papa.
But yeah, you're running through the
And
caves,
actually,
getting
the voice
surrounded.
actor. Sorry, Chris. I didn't want to interrupt, but
Oh,
I'm the
wow.
voice actor. For...
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, I
How
got
much was
one
that
line.
check?
You want to know it? What it is?
Yeah, what is it?
Mama?
No,
Papa.
You're so stupid. So yeah, you're running away from a bunch of yokai in the caves. Again, I could beat up all these yokai. I don't know why we're so scared. And then this is where Momio comes in and saves you and starts working with you. That's kind of it for the 3rd mission. This is where I first started getting cursed and blessed weapons. When you guys want to talk about the blessing and what is the other corruption? Blessing and corruption weapons.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen any of the blessed
I've
ones.
only seen corruption.
Yeah, I've only got corruption ones. I don't have
Oh.
blessed ones.
I think blessing's basically the same thing. I think maybe it like heals you or something. I don't know. But it's the same. It's like a buildup that
You
happens
just
as
build
you're
up the
fighting.
charge, and you got it for a little while, and then it goes away.
And your sword talks to you.
It's true.
Right.
Yeah, and it seems like every different corruption weapon, and I guess I assume blessed weapons. I haven't actually used one, even though I have a couple. It seems like they have like their own personalities or something because they go in your your Amrita memory folder or whatever in one of your menus. The things that they said to you, and I think I got like a trophy for the first time that one had said everything it could say. I also think this is where you unlock the second set of dojo missions that actually start unlocking your skill trees. So dojo missions are just like small side quests that you do that are super
They're
short.
really nothing. Yeah, they really aren't
Yeah.
anything so far.
They are. One of them is hard as fuck, man.
Which one?
Gotta fight that dude.
Oh,
Mm,
the samurai
Oh, yeah.
intermediate or whatever it is.
Yeah, man. It's hard.
it was all right.
Yeah, I didn't have too much trouble. The only one I kind of had trouble with was the Onmyo Magic. I think it was the Onmyo Magic Novice one because I use Onmyo Magic, so I'm like, why can't I use all of the Onmyo Magic I have? They just give you like a purification spell or whatever to fight this ogre. Yeah, I guess that's it. You can also run it. This is the only place actually so far that you can run into the Fire Wheel Yokai is in a side mission here. He's a little weirdo. rolling
They
around.
suck.
And then we go to, this is the first transition to a new map, which is where you also find out that the game takes place over a several year span. We don't know how long, because you transition maps, and the first map was from 1555 to 1556. And this new map, which is called Soaring, I guess is the chapter name or act name or whatever, is from 1560 to 1567. I don't think it tells you the year that the map you're on ends either until you've completed it.
Yeah.
And this is where we meet Nobunaga. We meet Dohan's daughter, whose name I didn't write down, but it's Nobunaga's wife or fiance. I'm not sure. I assume wife.
His wife, yeah. He
Um,
says so, I think.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of Nobunaga or in his little fancy pants house here? His wife, anything?
He's cool.
It's
Seems
nice.
alright.
I bet he probably dies.
I think it's in the first.
I think
game.
he's the like main villain in the first game, and this is the prequel. So I
Yeah.
don't think he dies.
Guess we'll find out.
I guess you'll find out.
Maybe he does die, and then he comes back as a yokai. Because I
could've
really don't
sworn
remember.
There was a guy named Nobunaga who was.
I don't remember. Maybe he was like on the yokai though. I don't remember anything about him in the first game. I just remember he's there. Yeah, a lot of games use Nobunaga. Remember that Pokemon game that had Nobunaga? It was like Pokemon Conquest.
I think
Nobunaga's
I was
edition.
reading something about this. So, what's the merchant guy's name?
Tokichiro.
Yeah, so it's in Yorihide. So it's something with they put his name together later.
Mhm.
It's an actual general or some shit,
Ah, okay. Interesting.
but they put it off as you two being one person.
Yeah, there's a
You're
lot
actually
of.
two separate people.
Which is weird.
It was a
But
weird
it's actually
cutscene.
based off of whatever from this. I can't remember what this period is.
Gensoku
Japan.
or whatever.
Sengoku.
Sengoku maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, I feel like
Cool person.
Naruto period.
if you studied Japanese history, this game would probably be a lot cooler, like lore wise. Like I really like the yokai and stuff because I like Japanese mythology, but like the names and stuff, I think are mostly recognizable
Gives a
names
shit.
that you would know from the
That's what
history.
I say. They say his name is Nobunaga. I say, who gives a shit? Put me
Watch
another
Ninja
level.
Scroll, you'll be fine.
Okay.
I don't think
Okay.
there's a Nobunaga at all in Ninja Scroll.
So we move on to mission 4 here, the hidden monsters of Okehazama. There's a sweet cutscene
Fucking
at the beginning of
hate
this
this level.
one of Nobunaga and his spearman Maeda Toshii.
That dude's badass. I love it.
They just murder a bunch of dudes. Very cool cutscenes. A lot of really cool cutscenes in this game. Shockingly well animated, good looking cutscenes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and shocking coming from the team that did Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I mean, I guess shocking in that this game I don't feel like anybody talks about, or the first game. So the fact that it has a big enough budget is shocking to me. But
I
Hey,
mean,
Ninja.
I think I said something to you guys when we were playing, but like the facial animation and like the rendering of everything is so good. I mean, every character design looks so good, especially up close, like when they're talking and stuff. Like it doesn't look like ass. So
Have you never played it Dead or Alive?
oh, that's true. That's where all their money came from, right?
that's it. You're right. Dead or Alive, volleyball, or
Beach
whatever.
volleyball.
That's it. All that.
There was a
money.
lot more than just volleyball.
No, that's the only one.
That's it.
The only one Tyler played.
That's the only one I watch
I played
trailers
that when I was
for
a
all
kid.
day, every day.
That was a fun game. I didn't realize it was just a game about big boobs, but you know, I played it.
There are male characters.
There were, but yeah, nobody picked them.
Are the male characters just like running around in speedos?
Yeah, they got huge dicks the whole time.
I never played
Just
just
like
volleyball.
bulging.
I only ever played I only ever played Dead or Alive fighting game. I never played
Oh.
volleyball.
Oh yeah, I played the volleyball game.
Anyways, in this level,
Moving on.
the spearman, Mr. Maeda Toshi, is standing in your way, and you have to like do a specific gesture to get him to move
Yep,
out of the
to
way.
get 'em out of the fuck.
You
Yeah.
can do any gesture.
I
You
did.
just have- it 3 times. I think you have to do something.
Oh, okay.
Is- I did a random gesture when I was playing with Ryan and Chris, and he just let me pass.
Weird. Yeah, I did. I
you
probably
going
went
else?
through like 7 7 gestures. I don't know if it's a specific color gesture you have to use, maybe blue, yellow, or red. You have to use a specific one. I don't know, because definitely I went through a lot of them. It was just like, what are you saying? What do you mean? What do you want me to do?
It's like, speak. I can't speak.
Yeah.
Papa. Trying to speak. All I can say is Papa the whole time.
So yeah, what stands out in this level for you guys after you get past Spearman?
It all sucked. I did not
Get
like
hit
this
by
level.
lightning.
Yeah, level sucked.
It's funny watching Tyler get hit by lightning.
Yeah, hilarious. But the last boss was fun. And his gross black teeth.
Yeah,
Tyler's favorite part. Black teeth.
The show
I
on
forgot
making
which
black
mission
teeth.
this was until you said black teeth, and yeah, that's the only thing. that
Literally
sticks
just
out.
shows him in Tyler immediately. Oh, gross. What's wrong with his
Yeah.
teeth?
I mean, you had already beaten this boss, I think, by that point.
Yeah, because I did it by myself.
Yeah, and we played it again, and I was like, ugh, this shit's gross.
Yeah, that's Imagawa Yoshimoto. Again, a name that sounds familiar, probably means more to you if you've studied Japanese history. Yeah, he's really cool. He's got 2 swords, but then he kind of like transitions to a spear, and he has a lightning bow, and he can summon his elephant to bring down lightning strikes. He's got a lot of cool moves. He wasn't very challenging. This is the first of a streak of bosses so far that's like, that was cool, but I whooped his ass super hard.
Mm.
Right.
This is also where you guys mentioned her earlier, the lady with 2 kitchen knives, very Tonberry-esque from Final Fantasy. We run into her.
Can be easy, or also can turn into the worst bitch in the fucking world.
Yeah, we just call her Grandma.
Yeah, that's true. We were just calling her grandma.
Yeah, she's the worst.
The murderous grandma.
The worst grandma that's ever lived. There's also, it's like the very first cave you go into in this level. It's like the only time I've seen this happen in this game so far. There's just a handful of little bats that come out and hit you and do like 0 damage just to fucking troll you.
I've done it a couple times.
Oh, really? I've only seen it happen once.
Because somewhere else on this place, I'm pretty sure it came out and hit someone. I'm not going to name who it is.
Did it kill him somehow? They do like 10 damage.
Yeah, but one's by a cliff.
God, this fucking guy over here.
I was talking about Ryan. I don't know what you're talking about.
I haven't played with you yet, Tom.
Is that true? That's weird.
I don't believe
It's
so.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, because the last handful of levels I had to do by myself because nobody was on when I was able to play.
Yeah. Let's move on to story. Let's talk about more story. Tyler, tell us what happens after you beat this boss in the story, please.
Hey, you beat this guy, and then he's like, do it now before I lose control again. And you're like, all right, you black-toothed bitch. And then you take your fucking sword and you stab him right in the fucking gut.
And then he disappears, and all that's left is a little napkin with his teeth in it for you, and you can
That's
put
right.
him in.
And then you put his teeth in, like, you have 2 sets of teeth.
One black, one white.
No, but then you get his little elephant thing, right?
Yeah, he shows you his past. Like he killed his own brother to take over the land that he has, and then it's all
Probably
pointless
Pay attention to any of that.
because he dies anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And you got
I was
Nobunaga's, right? And then
Yeah.
there's like a cutscene there.
I was actually like I don't know. I guess I've just been conditioned from games not killing people. Like your protagonist always wants to be Mr. or Mrs. Goody Two Shoes and not kill people. I fully expected your character to be like, no, leave, spare them. But no, your character just stabs him in the neck. Fuck him.
He goes,
Yeah, it's because his teeth were gross, man.
That's why. Yeah, and then you do go back to Nobunaga's estate, and Tokichiro's got a hard on for Lady Oichi as she's walking by. Nobunaga's sister, who I think is in like a planned marriage or something. You pick up some lore about later, so there's some drama about to come down from that. And yeah, Nobunaga makes you guys into samurai for some reason. See, this is what I don't understand about this whole thing is what is the point? You as Hide, what is the point of bringing Monkey Man along for everything, Tokichiro? Because he's being made a samurai. He hasn't done shit.
That's him. Yeah, he's collecting stones. He's the stone collector.
That's great, but how does that help you? Why are you being so nice to this guy?
I don't fucking know.
He ain't done shit.
You're
Because I
buddies.
think he can sense
Yes.
the stones, right? Isn't that what he said? He can sense them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Smells them out.
Says at the beginning.
His monkey nose.
So since he can sense them, he sends you to get them.
I know, but where's your advantage in this relationship?
There is none.
You're bored, and we're hanging
I
out in your
guess.
house, and he came
Yeah, he's
along.
got daddy
Yeah.
issues.
That's true. He is the reason why you get to meet Nobunaga and become a samurai and shit. So sure.
Become his retainer.
Yeah. There's a
Hey,
couple.
now we get to meet Jason Momoa.
That's true. There's a couple of new yokai real quick in the side missions. The Haunted Umbrella.
It's true. That is a new
False.
yokai.
Haunted Umbrella, very not scary yokai that barely even noticed that it exists. And then the giant naked mole rat is one of the hardest yokai, honestly. Especially even playing co-op, like he just has so much health that I'll fire 8 giant exploding fireballs at him and I'll be like, yeah, that was like 30% of his health.
It's the most fucking disgusting thing ever. Like
He's
next
the
to those
worst.
black teeth, this thing is disgusting.
If only
And I
he had
use its
black
power
teeth.
because now that I killed that disgusting monstrosity, I will use it to my advantage.
He likes looking at its butt when he comes out of the
Does.
ground, jiggling around.
Speaking of liking looking at butts, Jason Momoa does show up in the cutscene for the next level. I think what's his actual name I have it written here? And again,
Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman. Hachisuka Koroku.
That's right.
Which this is the first time I realized, like, kind of like Dark Souls tells a lot of its story through item descriptions. This game tells a lot of its story through like the description, the little blurb when you're picking a mission, the little box of text there, and then also the text as you're loading into a level.
Yeah.
Because like we came here looking for this guy, and that's all in those like text descriptions. But yeah, we're coming to like get us help to build, or not to build a fort, but to like, I don't know, transition a fort into a castle for Nobunaga, which I don't understand exactly why we're doing that. He's already got a castle, whatever. I guess because we're pushing forward on the front line or something of a war that we've involved ourselves in.
Mhm.
This level's kind of cool because Jason Momoa follows you around and fights with you. He's got a, what do you call the thing? Kasurigama? Is that how you say that?
Yes, Kasurigama.
Yeah, and he is very badass with it. There's a cutscene coming up a little bit later where he fights with it as well, and it's super fucking cool.
And this is the one that's got all the little water wheel bridge things
Water
for
gates,
shortcuts. Yeah, the water gates.
A real Ronald Reagan level.
Nixon.
Nixon.
Ronald
Fuck off.
Reagan.
I'm tired.
That's
right.
right. Good old Ronald Reagan level.
Whatever. Sorry, man. You know what I was talking about.
Yeah, you get to go take a bath in a spring with Jason Momoa. He calls you bold for just taking off all your clothes,
And
except
then
for
he
your
leaves you.
underwear. Yeah, and then he
I saw
abandons
my
you.
face.
And then I was crying for some reason.
Yeah, you basically have a one-night stand with Jason Momoa in this game. Somebody should tell all the horny people out there.
That's
Sell some
why he got
copies.
divorced.
Oh my god.
Nioh too.
This is so timely. What a timely podcast.
What a timely podcast. Yeah,
I don't think
this
there's
is.
any new bosses or any new enemies in this one.
I don't think so. If you didn't do side missions, I think this is the first
This
one.
Well,
With,
there's that guy
Make
with
it
the
more round and
scythe,
umbrella.
just the regular dude with the scythe
yeah, true.
that can totally destroy you.
This was the
Especially if
first
you
time I
fall
saw
into
that
the
weapon.
pit when everybody else is fighting a mole rat, and then you fall down a hill. There's a bunch of guys there, but you're all by yourself, and nobody can get back to you to bring you to life.
Mhm.
You
Rough.
start to level over.
Man, had it pretty rough, huh? Rough out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our guest for episodes 2 and 3 should be a therapist. Yeah, the boss is like that big cat thing that looks like Tobi Kadachi from
Toby
Monster Hunter.
Kadachi, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like the cutscene before this of Tokichiro just walking, saying "kitty, kitty, 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 kitty,
Yep.
kitty." It's
And
very
he's like,
goofy.
"Fuck that!" You
He's
go
like,
fight
"Oh,
it."
never mind, that's scary." Fuck.
Yeah. Also, this soul is super fun to use too for this boss.
Yeah, it's like sends
It's a cool
some
boss fight.
whirlwinds of.
There's
I mean,
like
it's
3 of
basically
them,
a
like
boss.
one from the right, one from the left, and then one down the middle.
Yeah, it's a very good one.
Mhm.
Yeah, what soul cores are you guys using right now? Like as of the end of chapter 7.
Naked Mole Rat and Cyclops.
Nice.
I'm using the naked mole rat and the Inky, the big monkey.
Yeah, I'm pretty
What
sure
is
I
that?
have the big monkey because that's got the highest stuff, and then I have the mimic that comes out of that little ninja guy that hopping out of the chest because
what does he do?
you can't summon him. All he does is double whatever your bonuses are from the other one.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I think I do have that. I didn't even look at it though because it doesn't have a skill.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have the stabby grandma and
Stabby grandma.
yeah.
No, Grandma, put the knife down.
Oh my
And-
god!
And the owl guy that we killed in chapter 7, you just like unleash some dark
Spoilers.
orbs.
Yes.
So yeah, you beat up the cat. There's not, God, I like barely have anything to say about that boss fight because I just turned into
Oh,
yokai
super
form
easy.
and murdered the shit out of him. He's so
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, but then afterwards, like Jason Momoa comes up and pets his head, and then all of his little forest friends come out, and you see the
That
Kappa.
creepy,
and you're like,
disgusting
"Ugh,
fucking-
Kappa, get the fuck out of here!"
Disgusting fucking turtle thing.
Yeah, you gross turtle bald bitch. It's just shitty.
But they're all like happy. They're all like, oh,
yeah. Then they're just
we're
like,
gonna murder you in your sleep,
what do you call that hairstyle where it's like bald up top and then just like
like the friar.
hair? Yeah, look, they got like a friar fucking haircut.
Mm-hmm.
They're all
Mhm.
wet and slimy. They suck. They're so gross.
Yeah, and then Tokichiro has a weird line to the other two generals of like, oh, we don't always have to kill things to accomplish our mission or whatever, even though we
Yep.
just killed like a shitload of dudes and yokai and shit to
Mhm.
get to
You
where.
know, the thing is like we whooped this thing's ass. Like technically, we killed it. Just because they animated it to not be dead. Like, come on, fucking bullshit game.
Oh yeah, also we've seen a couple times the Tokichiro uses spirit stones to like purify evil things. So maybe the spirit stone's not so bad, but I'm sure it'll all turn around in the second half.
He's trying to make that sword. He's gonna make that sword and stab you right in the gut.
Totally.
The sword's actually his penis.
Yeah, he's gonna take his penis right in your gut.
The
Takes all the
hammer is my
stones up
penis.
his butt.
Yeah.
The clown
Yeah.
has no penis.
Um,
Keep this thing
Stepbrothers.
moving, Chris.
no, man, I like the content. It's good. We're making good content here. This is the point in side missions where enemies started to like one-shot me, and I had to stop just exclusively leveling magic and level a little bit of health at least, because I did not like dying in one hit to things that I should be able to kill. Yeah, we were talking
did not
earlier, you shouldn't fight
them.
something if you die in one hit, but
Yeah, I did not do them so that I could complete 7.
I think the side missions are so boring.
yeah, I mean, they're just like run through this area, kill things. There's every once in a while there's like an enemy that's exclusive to them, and there's been 2 where you get a spirit from them that you otherwise wouldn't get, but I'm still using the snake spirit anyway. Like you get some extra backstory for, I want to say it's Ohime maybe, and then definitely for the spear guy, Toshie, whatever. And you get both of their spirits as well. Which the spear guy's thing is weird. I know me and you, Ryan, we did that one. I think Tyler, you were in when we did that. You get his weird little like cutscene flashback thing, and it like shows it. He takes severe injuries and then says he has to lay down his spear, but his spirit will fight on or something, and then gives you his spirit. But these are always like supposed to be the character's past, and he's very clearly still fighting right now with his spirit, so it just doesn't translate right
one where
with
you're
the
in,
rest of the
like,
spirits.
fucking canal or whatever.
Yeah, the volcano area, and then you go underneath.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which that environment is
super
very
cool
cool,
area.
and you only see it
That
in
is
the
a
side
very
quest.
cool environment.
No idea.
Next mission, Hollow Fortress. This is my favorite mission, the one with the elevator going up the middle of the level.
Looks very cool.
Mhm.
Let's see.
But
Yeah,
we
you're
blew through it. So.
you're seizing Inabayama Castle from Yoshiutatsu. I can tell you what any of this stuff is. I just wrote it down. Okay, I remember.
This is where you first start getting the guys with the fucking. They get the giant centipede things coming out of their heads.
Very
right.
Resident Evil.
Fucking bastards.
Also very
Their souls are pretty stupid too, because it just like swings around once and that's it.
I think they have enemies like this in Evil Within as well.
Sekiro as well.
Yep.
It's true. It's true. It's a thing. So that's right. Yeah, Yoshitatsu, the person who owns this castle, is Dohan's child, the man who was maybe our daddy that died earlier, supposedly.
So this is your brother?
Maybe. And we murdered him. Or well, did we though? Because it was like a weird clone thing that we fought at the end. I don't know what was going on there exactly.
I don't remember this fight at all. I don't remember this. I barely remember this at all.
Yeah, this is I mean, you, me, and Ryan played
the
through these
snowy
missions
level,
together.
right?
We were rushing through pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yes, the second half is the snowy level. The first half is in like it's underneath the
cave,
castle with the elevator, which I really like the elevator section of this level specifically, just the way it kept wrapping in on itself when I was fully exploring it. And you can fight the first boss from the first game down at the very bottom of this area, which is very cool. The guy with the
He
two
was not hard at all.
ball and chains. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
It's very hard in the first game.
He is, because like this game's first level, you're learning the ropes, and then they stick you in a tiny room with a guy with giant reach.
Correct.
What else sticks out here to y'all from this level?
I ran through most of the snow part just to get to the boss.
Nothing really memorable. I mean, there when we got into the snowy environment, like it was really pretty and it was a cool environment, but other than that, it wasn't very memorable at all. Like I said, I don't even remember the fucking boss that we fought here.
Yeah, I barely
You-
remember this level.
No.
Yeah, I think here we're kind of starting to get into one of Rob's points from earlier, which is like there's not a lot of point to exploring. This is the first 6 levels of this game I explored very thoroughly. I saw everything. I can make my way through every corner of these maps, you know, and like guide somebody through or whatever. But a lot of times in Dark Souls games and stuff, it's like, oh, I remember that specific area of the map because I fought this thing and then I went behind it and I got this cool sword or something, you know? In this game, it's like I touched a body and some loot popped out and I don't remember what the loot was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I opened that
stopped
chest and I don't know what it
exploring
is.
I was playing them by myself, and a lot of bullshit starts to happen on these levels. when You're by yourself.
The 7th level we'll get to in a second. That's a lot of bullshit, especially if you're playing solo and you don't know what's going on.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, we've got that goat with us now because we cured Anbei with a spirit stone. His spirit was all like weird and corrupted, and we cured him. And now he's walking around giving us advice. In both of these levels, both of these last 2 levels that we played. He's fun. Just he's an old man, an old sage man. Yeah, we talked about the snakehead yokai. We didn't talk about the like fire wraith guy, the kind of fire spellcaster. That's a new yokai. He's pretty cool. Weak to water. You'll never believe him. I don't have like any water spells though. It's the only spell tree I haven't really been down.
That is
That was in this level?
because you can do the like 4 fireballs that you can shoot at people. I think I was using when we were playing together.
Yeah, you were, and I was like, oh, Tom's doing Nioh magic stuff over there, but no, it's just
just the soul.
yeah, and
Which
both
if you
his,
don't lock on, fucking just goes fucking nowhere. So
yeah, both that one and then also the one you get from the owl that I was talking about earlier that I use. They don't really do that much damage, but they do a lot of key damage or whatever the hell the yokai, the yokai's key bar is called. Stamina,
Basically
sure,
stamina.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, then we go through the snowy area. I like the little shortcut you can kind of take here. If you go down and get the castle key, you don't have to go through the front door. You can go around the back. But I don't like that they kind of cheat their, I don't know, like they kind of cheat you out of that shortcut because there's a shrine that you need to get. Or, well, you don't need to get, but if you want to be close to the boss, you need to get the shrine, which requires you to go down to the basement and kill a big enemy anyway, which the basement and the shrine are pretty close to the front door. So your shortcut you can get doesn't really mean anything. Even though I do like the idea of being able to go out of your way to get a shortcut or an easier way in.
He loves the back door.
moral
love
of the
the back
story.
I do love Jason Momoa's back door. Then we fight the boss. The boss is Yoshitatsu, but is it really Yoshitatsu? I don't know, because it's like it takes off its mask and it is you. But then maybe that further leans into the theory that Dohan is your father, because this thing would be your brother or sister, right?
Or weird science experiment.
Yeah, maybe you're all weird
This
science
is my
experiments.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is where you get some backstory. Or wait, is it this mission or the end of the next mission where you get the full backstory of Momio? I think it's the next one.
The next one.
Yeah, this one she just like walks in and your blade and her necklace start shining, but then you quickly get ushered out.
Got a hard on.
That's right. That's why they pushed you out of the way.
Except for
Mhm.
Chris's character, because it's female. Sploosh. Archer. Archer.
Come on.
We get the ability after this mission to equip 2 guardian spirits, which seems cool in theory, but I haven't really bothered. I mean, I equipped the second
I've
one,
never
but I
done
don't
it.
switch to
I
it.
think I tried to do it and then it didn't really do anything. So I was like, oh, whatever. I'll just keep playing.
Shit.
Yeah, it's basically just so that you can have 4 yokai core abilities equipped and swap between them.
Yeah.
There's a interesting submission you can do here where you either
not
choose. It is true. It is true. You can either choose to help Jason.
Tyler said all of the side stuff was garbage.
Well, Tyler's full of shit.
I said it wasn't memorable.
Oh.
This one's kind of memorable. You didn't do this one though. Me and Ryan did this one.
So you wouldn't remember.
Yeah, you wouldn't remember because you didn't do it. You can either choose to side with Jason Momoa or this other guy that you haven't met yet. And it changes what enemies spawn level depending on which one you choose. Because if you're siding with Jason Momoa, they're all like samurais and stuff that you're fighting through to fight the other guy at the end. And if you choose to side with the racist douchebag that hates yokai, then all the enemies are yokai, and you fight Jason Momoa at the end. It doesn't affect the story at all though, because Jason Momoa still comes and helps you at the beginning of the next level. Either way.
That was pointless.
Did you say spoilers?
It says pointless.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's interesting but pointless. I think this might be... I think the side missions here might be the first time you run into ninjas. No, ninjas are definitely earlier, but this is the first time I saw them
you
like...
run into ninjas in the 3rd level because I remember I was with Ryan. I was like, now there's going to be a guy as we go into this cave. He's going to drop down. He's going to try to fuck you up. That it was a ninja.
Yeah, this was the first time I saw them like jump on me and do their suicide attack though, which I thought was
they will
very
fuck
cool.
you up. Yeah. They'll fucking hurt you bad.
Yeah, they'll just like take a bomb out and explode while they're holding you down. It's very cool.
Love explosion.
Loves kamikazes. Best.
Let's see. The Sitar Man is also a new enemy in that last level we just did. We just talked about. Or I think he's new in that level. I don't know. Regardless, the Sitar Man is interesting because he'll like summon the revenants that are around, the little like red graves, which we haven't really talked about the red graves.
Side mission earlier on.
But yeah, he'll keep summoning those until you kill him, which is cool. And they usually hide him in like a little offshoot or a bush or something, so he's hard to find. Kind of like the bell ringing woman in Bloodborne. Okay, and then this is the part. This is right before the transition to the next map. You get the really odd cutscene of Nobunaga doing his little fan dance and singing his little song, and then Tokichiro comes running out and asks him if you and him can be one person named Hideyoshi, and he agrees.
That's weird.
It was all really weird. I think it's cool that that's an actual general, but it's just really odd. It's an odd cutscene and an odd thing that happened, especially like running into the middle of this clearly important ceremony with a bunch of generals and being like, "Name us one person." Sure, whatever, go away.
You smell.
I'm busy.
There's a war happening, gentlemen.
Yeah, and kind of
Get
something
the
more
fuck out of
important.
here, bro.
All right, and then we get on to our last mission of this first section, A Way Out.
Bullshit.
It is bullshit. I do want to say, before you even jump into that mission, though, you do the map transition to the new map, and the music on this new map is so good. Take a listen if you have not, because it's much better than maybe any other music that I've heard in the game. It's the first time the music really stuck out to me.
I mean, if you're playing co-op, it's gonna be hard to hear the music.
That's true. That's true. And we all know Tyler hates game music. That's why he just left.
Yep. The fucking music, goddamn it, I hate it. Right there underneath the Tengu.
And then Naked Morat, number 3. Or Black Teeth, rather. So
Black Teeth.
There's another really sweet cutscene we mentioned earlier of Jason Momoa, which I will not call him by his actual name, by the way. This is Jason Momoa for this game. He like uses Kursari Kama to like sweep a bunch of dudes down and stuff, and your characters come in and fight because Tokichiro is about to get his ass beat. This is also where you see the cutscene of the 2 samurai saying that they're sure Tokichiro is dead by now. I get the impression, it's weird, but I got the impression that they were supposed to be like your backup, and they were intentionally not backing you up to try and let Tokichiro die because they don't like that he's looking for spirit stones.
Yep, sounds about right.
Um,
Tyler would know. He knows all about the story, but he hates music, so he had to leave.
It's true. It's true. So there was a kind of a funny moment here where it's right at the beginning. You're kind of coming up the hill, and the goat spirit comes out and says, "Oh, Mumio said that the way here should be clear, but be careful. There might be enemies here." And I'm like literally already in the middle of combat, and there's freaking dead shit everywhere. It's like, okay, but yeah, there might be enemies here. Thanks. Great tip. What else stands out in this area for you guys?
That fucking dark areas with that fucking asshole that shoots the fucking ghost fireballs or whatever. They will literally follow you anywhere.
Dark orb of terribleness.
Yeah, there's some forced stealth sections here, and if you get caught, then that dark orb spawns and shoots you. And the very first one, it's like, I still have not gone through that area and seen how you even get up to kill it.
So those the orbs that you can shoot, I think there's 2 red orbs or something in here that you can shoot, and if you do that, then the last boss has like half of the stamina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see that at all. That's interesting.
But it's in those dark areas. I did shoot the fucking owl in the eye the first time I saw it, and then it just immediately goes red. Fucking shit starts fucking you up immediately. I was like, oh, wow, that's great.
Oh, is it the owl that's scanning for you? I never even looked.
Yes.
I just saw the searchlight thing.
Yeah, it's third eyes, and then I shot it with my fucking hand cannon, and it fucking goes, fuck you. And it's awful.
Yeah.
It's not great. So I just basically ran. You can run like back and around the corner right away, and then there's Tyler's favorite Tengus hanging out on the bridge. And
yeah, the first searchlight one's the only one that's bad. There's one other searchlight area where the orb thing like spawns right in front of you, basically, and you can just kill it and then go back through the area and sweep it, and it's not a big deal. The other things that stand out here, dog enemies. You gotta kill dogs. That's fucked up. It's getting bad now.
They're whipping fucking knives at you out of their mouths, so
that's fair.
They asked for it.
Yeah, but you like love Bloodborne, right? You kill all kinds of fucking dogs in that game.
That's true. And this dog just looks like a normal dog, though.
With armor. It's got armor on.
Yeah, well, Old Yeller happened, and now everybody wants to kill dogs.
It's true.
Specifically,
I've still never watched that movie.
You can read the book.
No, I refuse.
Or listen to the book.
Yeah, listen to it.
Yeah, listen to your books, everybody.
Here, let me spoil Old Yeller. Dog gets rabies, they shoot it in the fucking face. End of story.
Oh my god.
Spoilers.
The sadder book is Where the Red Fern Grows, but you know.
Oh yeah, that's much worse. There's 2 dogs in that one.
One of them gets cut open with a fucking. Yeah. Anyways.
Nope. Anyway, carry on. Fucking Tengu suck.
You
and
hate
there's
killing
fucking
dogs.
owls.
I'll tell you what, people love dead dogs in stories, Chris.
You ever seen Cujo?
Yeah, you ever seen Cujo?
I don't think so.
You ever seen All Dogs Go to Heaven?
Yeah.
All kinds of dogs dying in that. They go to heaven.
But they go to heaven.
Some go to hell. All dogs go to heaven too. They go to hell.
Fascinating. Tell us more about All Dogs Go to Heaven lore. That'll be our next exploration. All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 specifically.
Don't say that because I'm pretty sure there's an All Dogs Go to Heaven game.
Probably.
Is there?
And it's probably not good. On
it's on like
SNES
Nintendo,
or Genesis or something, probably.
Yeah. Super Nintendo, probably.
We should also talk about this weird Bloodborne ass fucking 4-headed yokai thing. This is like my favorite yokai design in the game. It's really cool.
Oh, it has like those blue fireballs or whatever.
Yeah, like keeps jumping up and down. I don't know. It's weirdo.
I killed it easy and I got its soul. And I was like, that was the easiest part of that whole bullshit area is killing that thing right before you have to run through it.
Yeah, I did not get its soul yet. I was very jealous because I've killed probably like 6 of them at this point, running through the level several times, and I still have not gotten one. And then Ryan got one for both of the 2 that we killed.
I don't think I've equipped it, so I don't even know what it does. I assumed something with the stupid blue fireballs.
I don't even remember. I know I looked when I got it, but I haven't used it, so it doesn't stick.
This is incredibly specific, but there is a part that I like where you're walking under a tree and you can see an archer in the distance, who they want you to like run at and try to kill. But then if you do that, there is a guy just above you and to your right that has a hand
with the
cannon
hand
pointed
cannon.
directly at your head, which is
That
very
part-
very good.
Is right around where I kept dying, and I probably fell off that tree like 8 times going up to grab the shit that the archer dropped,
Mm.
and then coming back down. Like the first like 10 times I was doing that area, it was fine. I didn't fall down, and then for some reason, like almost every other time after that, somehow my guy just flew off the tree.
Yeah,
Great.
I never went for that, but the time that I played through with Tyler and Ryan did go for that, and he died. It was great.
I went for 3 and I only fell once. All right, that's
Fair enough.
Well, it took me a very long time to get past this part on solo. So
Yeah, this is the only level I did not like fully explore every inch of because of the weird searchlight thing.
yeah.
Um,
It's the real highlight, though.
what's that?
The boss fight is the real highlight for this mission, in my opinion.
Okay. You want to
Great
talk about
design,
it?
Yeah, I mean,
it's an owl with 3
It's
eyeballs.
a highlight.
I think it's
It
a
was
really
cool.
fun design. It's a fun arena. It's interesting mechanics. Great design. Like it's a fun fight. We had a good time.
Yeah, I'll look
I
cool.
think it's my favorite boss.
Yeah, maybe. I think just because I beat his ass so hard, it's hard for me. Like it's hard for me to say it's my favorite. But then I mean, if that's the case, then I guess
Kicked his ass
one
too
of the
hard,
first
I
three.
couldn't like it.
One of the first 3 bosses would be one of my favorite. Would be my favorite, and I don't really love any of them. So
I just wanted to finish this level, so I didn't really give a flying fuck.
that's fair. My favorite part of this level is right before you get into that boss, the dilapidated village full of monsters, and there's like a solemn violin playing the whole time. It's a very cool scene that reminds me of Bloodborne DLC, which you guys should play, but you just complain that it's gray the whole time or whatever, so it's fine. Don't worry about it.
And squelchy.
It's very squelchy in that little hamlet.
Is the gameplay good in the DLC?
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Okay. Yeah, you know, a goal on this year's Extra Life, play through the DLC unwasted.
I do it. I like playing that game. The game is fun.
Don't like looking at it.
I just don't like looking at
Can I
it.
play it?
Yeah.
Can I play
Like
it
the way it looks.
blindfolded?
But we're not here
I'm
to
sure
talk about
someone
the
can.
game.
Yeah, there's
Examine
a
it too
blindfolded
well.
Sekiro speedrun. It's ludicrous. So yeah, here's where you get the backstory of your lady friend Mumio. She's got a mermaid
Oh, my
spirit
friend.
that invades your mind. And you find out that her parents died when she was young. She was taken in by the Sohaya.
Yokai killers.
Yeah, they want to basically hunt yokai to extinction. And Tyler, you seem very interested in this blade and stuff. You seem to remember what happens here. What is going on here exactly? They had a blade that was meant to kill all yokai
Yeah, so,
or
like,
something.
The
I don't know.
blade. There was one blade that was forged from all these different stones that killed like the main yokai. There was like a yokai that was a part of this village, and they ended up going against this yokai. They called him a demon, and they forged this blade because he started to massacre everybody, and they forged this blade to kill this main demon, basically. Then afterwards, the blade was like passed down and broken apart, I believe. So, and I think that the thing that you have that you keep showing everybody is a part of that blade.
Yeah.
The sunstones or whatever these shards that you're getting are a part of that blade. And she also has a part of that blade as well.
Well, that doesn't explain the mine though, where you can bust open the shards and they're just giant outcroppings.
What? You're
The
talking about?
level with the elevator that goes up the middle, like you can find shit tons of outcroppings of those soul shards or whatever, and you can just break them like they're just mining materials.
Yeah,
Oh, well, I don't know.
then you
as
get
well as
shit
in
from
side quests.
Then maybe the shards don't have anything to do with the blade, but I think the piece that you have and the piece that she have are definitely pieces of that blade. for
Yeah,
sure.
I think they
Oh, yeah,
make
that's
that
definitely
pretty clear.
the hilt or
Oh.
whatever.
Yeah.
The guard on top.
Yeah.
It clearly looks like insertion. No sexual innuendo.
That's right.
In there. Well, not for Chris's character, but our characters.
Mm-hmm. You get another scene of Nobunaga talking to what's his name? Hisahide, who has the worst fucking mustache in the history of mustaches. It's
He's
like
got a very cool spider helmet.
twirls around on his face,
cool.
and it's bad.
Well, if he had black teeth, he'd be even cooler because he'd have the
Well,
best
that-
teeth and
but his
best
helmet
mustache.
is like super tall and it looks like a spider and it's got all these little legs pointing off of it. I like it.
Yeah, and you catch up.
Ryan wants it.
Ryan wants a spider.
No, thank you.
You hear the rear guard cut up. That's you. And that's kind of the end of where we are. So immediately as soon as you get back to the map though, you unlock something called the Hidden Tea House, which
Sucks. Don't do it.
I went in it for a second. It's like some weird clan battle thing where you're just trying to earn glory for your team or something. I don't know.
Very for honor, if you will.
But not as good combat.
It's not even combat. It's just like you pick a fucking clan and you do shit.
I didn't go to it.
Clan gets points for what you do, and those points go towards your clan.
Oh, so like the very base outside part of For Honor.
Yeah.
You should go in. You should go in real quick because I think you do get like a passive buff depending on which clan you pick. I found one that gives like extra Onmyo magic and stuff. So.
Yeah, I just backed out because fuck it. It sounded stupid, so I just backed out. Again, another menu I didn't want to dick around with, so I backed out.
Yeah, and that's it for this first episode. You guys have any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to get off your chest?
People hate menus.
Who cares about the story? The story for the birds. Gameplay, great.
Yeah.
For the Tango, you mean?
I mean, they suck ass, but I mean, they're still fun.
No, instead of for the birds, it's for the Tengu.
There's a joke.
Yeah, I see.
That's the joke.
I didn't catch it. It was almost as bad as my fucking whatever joke I made earlier.
You can't even remember any of your jokes.
Memorable.
The wrong president, the Reagan joke that I tried to make about Nixon.
Yes. Wasn't a joke though.
The right president.
It's just I don't know.
Brian?
I expect to continue having a good time playing co-op.
Co-op's so
The
good.
end.
That's about it.
Co-op is good. But sometimes that's all you need. Who gives a fuck about everything else? Sometimes it's like, hey, this game is super fun to play with my friends, and that's all you need.
True.
Yeah, well, if we weren't talking about this game for 9 hours in podcast format, then yeah, but since we're talking about this game hours and hours in podcast format, then there's more to it than that.
Yeah. For Chris, we can just talk about the co-op.
Yeah. Like he said, anything else you guys want to say? Co-op's great. Fuck it. Who cares? But fuck the rest of it.
Continue having a great time playing this game co-op.
Or menus, split, co-op, great time.
All right. So our next episode, we're going to be talking about chapters. What is it? 8 through 14. Missions 8 through 14. The next 7 chapters, basically. And we will be recording that on what do we agree? Monday, the 14th. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Valentine's Day.
Oh God, we're not gonna do that on Valentine's Day. you guys got wives, right?
That don't matter.
We don't believe in fucking Valentine's Day.
Okay.
It's a fucking Hallmark holiday.
Yeah.
Great. We'll do it on Valentine's Day. So getting your thoughts on the next 7 chapters for anybody still playing out there, all 0 of you. Thanks everybody. No, I think Mike might keep going. He seems to be having an okay time, even though it's no
Mike,
From
play
Software
co-op
game.
with us. We'll have a good time.
It's true.
Yeah.
Babs, come play co-op with us. You'll get through the first level and then you'll have a good time.
Yeah, we could literally run you guys through the
Babs.
first 6 levels so quickly. Since it seems like everybody's made it through the first, we can run you through the next 6. It's very easy.
Yeah. So we'll be back in a couple weeks. We should plug things, though. Of course, obviously. Ryan, what do you
Just
want
like
to plug?
Tyler's prom night.
God damn it. Fuck.
No, we didn't do it the whole time. We had to throw one in.
I want to plug
We
our
did.
Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Spelunkers. A lot of streams, a lot of nights of the week, something for everybody. Come on by, give us a follow, hang out, chat. Also, I was recently on Calm Down Nerd podcast with Sincerely Eric of the Discord community. That was a great conversation. I talked to Zero off for about 2 hours about cars.
Sweet. Tyler, you got anything you want to plug?
I will plug Wasted. We are going to maybe switch up the Wasted game here soon. We were playing Divinity Original Sin 2, but that game is fucking long, and we've already missed 3 weeks because Tom and I's schedules suck ass. So maybe playing a new game very soon that we were excited, and we may be switching it Divinity to a Friday stream as well, which is very exciting. Do 2 streams, Friday and Saturday. Stay tuned.
Hell yeah. Tom, what do you want to plug?
Do we have anything left?
You
Sure we
gotta rank them all. This is Resident
but I
Evil
don't-
streams, Ryan's
Pokemon.
Pokemon streams.
I don't need to plug Pokemon. That's more him.
You can't.
Pokemon. Yeah, there's a podcast that talks about Pokemon. I know like 10 of their names, and they do things there. People talk.
The perfect
They're
plug.
all very
People
popular.
talk
like
that care
show.
about
It's probably one of
Pokemon.
our most popular shows, but that's fine.
Yeah, he's talking about Gotta Rank 'Em All, the Pokemon ranking show, where we are me and Ryan and guests. Tyler's been on a couple times. We got a lot of guests from the community. If you want to be on, let us know. We rank all the Pokemon. We're at like what 760 now, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
We're like 3/4 through, and they did not add that many new Pokemon for Hisui, so we're still about 3/4 through, even with the new additions. So, yeah, come give that a listen. That's super great. It's on YouTube. It's also on our podcast feed. Which, if you are on YouTube, listen to this or finding the Pokemon ranking show, please give us a sub. We're at 47 subs now. Unless the goalposts have moved in the year that I've been begging for subs, I think we're pretty close to being able to name our YouTube channel something recognizable instead of numbers and letters. So we appreciate your guys' subs. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.